Teams just coming out down below us here at the New York Stadium. Rotherham in the red and white, the change strip of Ipswich, and there's a great following have made all the way up from Suffolk away to our right there, making themselves heard, and they're still coming in as well. It's going to be a big old following. They made the journey up, most of them, as a late call-off, wasn't it, a couple of weeks ago, but they're here tonight to see if their team can close the gap on leaders Leicester to just 1 point. Live football across the Talksport network tonight over on Talksport. Atletico Madrid take on Celtic in the Champions League. Adrian Durham is based at Manchester City against Young Boys. A commentary from Ian Danta and England defender Stuart Pearce. And then tomorrow night, Copenhagen against Manchester United. What a big game that is for Erik ten Hag. Adrian will be at Arsenal Sevilla. Our commentary team for the United game will be Jim Proudfoot and the former Chelsea man Scott Minto. Then on Thursday we're live in the Europa League on Talksport 2, 5:45 start. To lose against Liverpool, Alex Crook is with the former England man Dean Ashton. And on Friday we're back in the Championship and a big old Lancashire derby, Blackburn against Preston. No love lost between those two. That's live and exclusive on Talksport 2. Hugh Wozencroft, Joe Shannon and Courtney will be there as well. Looking forward to that one, I am sure. So we're about to get underway here. Let's just quickly run you through the two teams again then for the home side. Johansson in goal, then Bakisa, Ayala, Odofin and Bramall, Kafute and Rathbone across the middle, Onyedinda and Nombe with Klukas up top. And for the visitors, Haladki in goal, Clark, Twanzebe, Burgess and Davis across the middle, Morsi and Luongo behind Jackson, Chaplin, Harness, and George Hurst leads the line. About to get underway here. Teams just removing their tracksuits. For those of you who've not been here before, tight little ground, all-seater stadium, all close to the action. It's always quite a raucous atmosphere here. And whenever I come here with Neil Redfern, I don't know if you've played on this pitch, but it seems quite a tight pitch.
Yeah, we have. To the left-hand side, I scored in that goal as well, so I remember it quite well. But yeah, it's a tight pitch. It's a fantastic atmosphere. So I think, again, what I mentioned earlier about giving these fans something to shout about early on in the game, really getting in Ipswich faces. Can you get shots off early, get the crowd really involved, and hopefully for the home support, that'll be something that they can thrive off and try and push their team through tonight. Yeah, well, that will be the plan for Matt Taylor. 5 behind the likes of Huddersfield and Coventry. They've got some tough tests coming up as well in the next few weeks. Rotherham, they'd like some points. Watford, Leeds and Hull, their next 3. Ipswich have got Swansea, West Brom and Millwall to come. Unbeaten in their last 10 in the league, Ipswich, just 1 league defeat all season. And for all the talk about Leicester so far, if Ipswich do win here, they go within a point of Leicester. Yeah, obviously that loss to Leeds for Leicester has set them back ever so slightly. And I think, look, they were running away with it, aren't they? Leicester only losing to Leeds and Hull. But I think if Ipswich can stay on their tails, we know the Championship, in terms of week in, week out, playing midweek and a weekend, it's very, very tough. It only maybe takes a few injuries or a few runs of poor results, and Ipswich could find themselves top. So it's just about keeping within touching distance of Leicester City and obviously concentrating on themselves, their performances, their philosophy. Come the end of the season, come May, you never know where they'll be. No, both teams in a really tight huddle. The red and white away to our left of Rotherham United, the white shirt, white socks and black shorts of Ipswich Town. Can tell you already on Talksport 2 tonight, Borussia Dortmund beaten Newcastle by 2-0. And Shakhtar Donetsk surprise 1-0 winners over Barcelona. We'll keep you up to date with the other goals as they go in, but we're about to get underway here on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. And it is live and exclusive on national radio. Rotherham against Ipswich. Rotherham players, most of them choosing to take the knee, and we are underway here in South Yorkshire. There's a big rainstorm about an hour or so before kick-off, but that has abated, thankfully. And Ipswich with Twanzebe on his full league debut knocks it long and out of touch, and Rotherham have got an early throw-in. And it's a good surface here at the New York Stadium, especially with a bit of rain on it, a bit of slick, and under the lights. It's the conditions that players, especially defenders, love to play under. Yeah, challenge goes in there on Chaplin. Ball breaks out to this near side, and Onyedinda can't collect it. Listening to
Matt Taylor this week said that Onyedinma was a bit of a doubt for this one, but he's there and he's ready to go. There's a ball been not long forward by Ipswich, too long. It's over the top of George Hurst and all the way through to Victor Johansson, who's all in black away to our left-hand side, 0-0.
Yeah, and going back to Onyedinma, I think if he's, most of the way fit, not putting himself in danger, you go in to play him because he's so important to that Rotherham forward line. He's got power, he's got pace, he's got the skill on the ball, and obviously an eye for goal as well, so it's important that they have him in the side. Yeah,
Rathbone did really well there to chest that ball into his teammate, and it's won back again by Limbakisa, who wins a free kick, the Wolves loanee, just inside his own half, and the players just looking to get an early feel, and Ipswich showing that they're quite happy to get the ball and knock it long when they need to.
Yeah, and I think it's important. Yes, a lot of teams have their philosophies, a lot of teams now like to play through the thirds, but it's about seeing what's happening on the pitch as well, and if that long ball is on and you can exploit a team, then why not?
0-0. Here's a chance for Johansson. The keeper's come forward to knock it long to the edge of the area, but headed away powerfully there at the back by Cameron Burgess for Ipswich, and hooked forward, and now they're trying to get away down this near side. Luongo's legs wouldn't quite get him where he wanted to be, and Johansson again will clear it right-footed over the halfway line. Burgess again wins the challenge. He's up against Sam Nombe tonight. Hugill on the bench this evening. One of two changes made by Matt Taylor. There's a ball won and brought down and played back to the goalkeeper by Leif Davis. And here, all in green, is Haladki. And they'll get it, trying to play it out inside their own area. Twanzebe back to Haladki now, and he'll calmly just roll it across the 6-yard box and out to this near side, and Leif Davis will work it for Luongo, who goes long. Hurst the target. Hurst couldn't quite control it, and it's out for a throw-in. Still 0-0.
I like the effort from Cafu, and I think it was Rathbone there, wasn't it, closing the keeper down. But they've got to make sure that once you start that front press, everyone's got to go, because yes, the keeper was calm, but for me it was too easy for Ipswich then to play out from right to left and be comfortable on the ball. If, as I mentioned, if 1-2 players go, the whole unit have got to go to make the press worthwhile.
Can't say up in Scotland. Goal for St Johnstone. Lee Motherwell by a goal to nil. Nicky Clark with that one. There's a lot of EFL trophy action as well tonight. Can tell you that some League One football as well. The ball played out to this near side. It's 0-0 here in our live commentary, and here's Onyedinma, and he's nicked it away from Davis, and he's driving to the edge of the area. He's going to have a shot cross goal, and it's turned in, and Nombe has his goal for Rotherham United. Tucks it in from close range. Onyedinma beat Davis, drove into the area, cross come shot, and arriving late at the far post was Nombe, and Rotherham lead Ipswich by a goal to nil.
It's a fantastic start from Rotherham, isn't it? That's what I was talking about. Be aggressive, get it Ipswich, see where you can get yourself. I love this from Onyedinma down the right-hand side, driving with the ball with purpose, and then he puts it in an area, as you mentioned, might be a cross, might be a shot, it doesn't matter. You just got to make sure you put the ball in the right area. So, for example, if you are shooting, making sure you're going across the goal, because if you do miss the target, then you've got a player there, and who was there? Nombe to slide in. It's a really good passage of play from Rotherham.
Yeah, really aggressive play from Onyedinma, and Nombe sliding in, just the type of chance he would have wanted. He's had to wait a while for that goal, but those are the types of crosses that he's going to feed off.
Yeah, exactly, and I love the fact that Nombe is getting himself in that area. He knows where the ball's going to fall, and sometimes as a striker you make 10 of those runs and the ball doesn't quite fall to you, but you have to keep getting in the right areas. And Sam Nombe, luckily for him, it was his first opportunity, but there was no look about where he found himself, because he's driving to get in the box, slides in really well, and it's a well-worked goal.
It is. Perfect start for Rotherham United. They lead Ipswich by a goal to nil. And the ball with Ipswich now. How will they respond? Well, they were behind. They've been behind in quite a few games recently, and their goal-scoring prowess is going to be tested here. Now, as they've all played diagonally out over on the far side, they're looking for an instant response here. Down the right, they'll try and work the ball into the area. It's cleared away initially, bouncing around, poke clear to the edge of the box by Rotherham, who are looking to turn and break here. Nombe made a good run forward. They'll go through the middle instead. Crunching tackle goes in, and the ball breaks kindly for Burgess, and Ipswich have got it back. But just signs there that they've been stung into life, Ipswich Town, and they're looking for an instant response, and it was a good attack down the right-hand side.
Yeah, it was. That initial ball ball as well from Burgess out to the right-hand side to Jackson was absolutely beautiful. We were right behind it, and the way it spun into Jackson, and he brought it down extremely well. And just to see now Rotherham, they're in their own half, and yes, it's about, you know, the next 5 minutes being concentrated not to concede, but I don't want them to drop off too much. See, when you score, for me, you need to get yourself ahead, go 1-0, 2-0, so not drop off and invite pressure too much.
Well, over on Talksport, I can say there's been a goal there, and it's not a good one for Celtic. We'll go to that in a minute as here come Ipswich into the edge of the area. Chance for the shot, and it's cannons off the defender, and it's cleared away. And it was a good block in the end, and it was Jackson who had the shot, and it was good defending. It's out for a corner to Ipswich.
Yeah, and he does well, Jackson. You see, as soon as he gets on that ball, he wants to drive in, wants to get the shot off, and these are just little warning signs from Ipswich. They've definitely sprung into life after that goal.
They have indeed. 0-0. The Millers lead here on Talksport 2. But is there a response coming from the Tractor boys, who are going to swing the corner near post? It's volleyed away emphatically high into the night sky here, and it'll bounce out of play over on the far side. Well defended in the end from Rotherham. So Ipswich looking to build a spell of pressure here. We have it down there right hand side. Over on that far side, Harry Clark will take the throw-in. Twanzebe gets it into Luongo in midfield. He gets the ball down and gives it to the captain, Sam Morsey. Ipswich are the top scorers in the division, but they're behind early on here. Just the start that Rotherham would have wanted, and they continue that record of scoring in each and every home game. Twanzebe with the ball over the top. Harness tries to head it down. They're screaming for a handball, but I'm not sure there was a lot the Rotherham player could have done. Nombe is bundled over in the centre circle, and Rotherham have got themselves a free kick.
Yeah, he gets cut up, doesn't he, between Twanzebe and Morsey. That's what you need to do when you're playing that role in the number 9. When the ball comes into you, it's got to stick, or if it doesn't stick, you've got to draw the foul, and Sam Nombe does that perfectly there.
Yeah, I mentioned not good news for Celtic. Antoine Griezmann has put Atletico in front. 0-0. That game live over on Talksport right now. Earlier on, not good news either for Newcastle, beaten in Group F by Borussia Dortmund by 2-0. It's currently goalless AC Milan and Paris Saint-Germain in that group as well. Rotherham play it forward, and it's well won there by Adolfin, who actually got an arm or an elbow in the face. Lee Davis walks away protesting his innocence, but certainly the assistant on the near side was all over that.
Yeah, straight away the flag went up. And it's difficult, isn't it? Because as a defender, or, you know, it doesn't matter if you're defending or not, but when you're trying to go up for the ball and you're using your arms for leverage, I don't think there was any malice in that, but it's interesting that the assistant was definitely sure. He flagged it straight away.
They've gone here. It's about 25 yards out. He's 2 or 3 yards in from the right touchline. There's a right-footed and a left-footed option here. Haladke is waiting just a yard off his line. Ball swung in right-footed. It's behind all the Rotherham attackers, and it's half volleyed out for a throw-in, and he would have wanted that one again there, Cafu. It wasn't his best delivery. Yeah,
and straight away his arm goes up in apology to his teammates, and that's the thing, when you're getting good opportunities, you've got to make sure that deliveries into the box are good, especially when you're bringing your centre-halves up, your good headers of the ball. It's very much a wasted opportunity.
Fred Onyedinma is going to try and take a long throw-in. Morsey's waiting on the edge of the area. Now there's a run from the near post. They'll get it back to Onyedinma. It was a tough ball to deal with, and his pass is picked off. They'll get another goal. Chaplin couldn't keep it in, and it's out for a throw-in 10 yards away from the right-hand corner flag for Rotherham. Onyedinma again is lining up as though he's going to try and launch it in. Everybody in the box for Ipswich. It is a better ball in, but it's headed away near post. Harness will bring it down, and it's cleared away nicely. And here on the counter-attack is Luongo. He just couldn't find the pass on the far side. Bramall will win it back, but now there is a chance for Ipswich to break, and they'll break quickly. Jackson down that right-hand side, racing towards the edge of the penalty area, tries to pull it back for Chaplin, does well to get to it first, tries to put the cross in, that's blocked partially, and then cleared away by Rotherham up towards the centre circle. Twanzebe powers in a header and wins it back, and Ipswich have got it back now. Luongo, centre of the field, will go back to Twanzebe, and he now on this near side finds Cameron Burgess. Ball fed into Luongo, 25 maybe 30 yards out from goal. It's passed to Morse, who was misplaced, but Twanzebe keen to get in the action, finds a nice ball through to Chaplin. Ball back to Jackson on the left. Better from Ipswich, and I have to say Twanzebe's made a great start.
Yeah, he has. He's obviously showing his quality. He don't play for Manchester United for no reason. But it's interesting that Rotherham, they had the throw-in just to the right-hand side of us, so close to the goal, and then quickly it's in Ipswich hands because the throw-in just wasn't well worked. There was no Rotherham player around it trying to flick it on. So they're the little moments where the concentration, the game management has got to be better for Rotherham to stay in the lead.
Onyedinma just made a great run over the halfway line, and he's kept possession for Rotherham, who lead by a goal to nil. If you've just joined us, goal coming inside 4 minutes. Sam Nombe with his first league goal for the club, and here's a chance now for Cafu in down the left-hand side. Tuanzebe goes across and will just poke the ball out for a throw-in. Cafu did well there. It would have been easy to foul, wouldn't it, and give Tuanzebe an easy way out, but he didn't do that.
Yeah, it's one of my pet peeves when forwards do that, especially when the defender has got nowhere to go. So Cafu does really well just to hold his eagerness, and in the end Rotherham have a throw in a good area now.
They do. From the far side this time. They're going to try and work it in towards Nombe, who ball comes off the defender. Tuanzebe appealed that it came off the Rotherham player last, but it's a corner here and another set-piece opportunity, and Cafu will go across to deliver it. It'll be an in-swinging right-footed corner kick from the left-hand side, and again every Ipswich player is back inside the penalty area. 5 in a line, white shirts inside the 6-yard box. There's one red shirt in front of the goalkeeper. That's Nombe there. Red shirts waiting on the penalty spot. Now they move in. Ball swung in, and Tuanzebe got a really good header on it inside the 6-yard box. And now looking to build up from near the halfway line is Tehi now. He's not got many options with him, and in the end he does well to win himself a throw-in. He did well there in a tight spot.
Yeah, he did, but I've been so impressed with Tuanzebe in this first 13 minutes. He's in possession. He's been very good. He's not wasted many balls, but out of possession, winning balls, being strong, coming to meet them. Big header there from that corner. He's looked really good so far.
He has. Mbakisa did well, but Rotherham have given it away and then won it straight back. In the end, Daniel Ayala tidies up and finds Hakeem Adofin. Now the ball played long, and Nombe's made a good run in behind here, and he might be first to get to this ball. He's done really well, ran diagonally across the field, keeps it in left-hand touchline. Now he's down by the corner flag, lays it back. Onyedinma waits in the middle. Should they get across? Nice little bit of football, but not enough on the cross in the end. And it's headed away. Morsey will try and challenge for it on the edge of the area. He's got it, can't bring it under his control for a shot. He might get a second chance here. Morsey drives it, pulls it back across the 6-yard box, and it's turned behind by Burgess. Really good spell for Rotherham. They lead by a goal to nil, and now they've got a corner.
Yeah, it's really good positioning from Burgess, but what I love about this from Nombe is he doesn't give it up. He gets on the blind side of both Tuanzebe and Clark, and he makes that opportunity for the fact that he runs across, gets the ball under control, and then finds a teammate, and in the end Rotherham managed to get a good opportunity, ball in the box. Short
corner, swung in, and it's headed away. Fall here for a chance for the shot from the edge of the box, comes in, and it is inches over the top from Christ Tehi there. He got hold of that from 25 yards, and it was inches over. I'll tell you what, Václav Hladky was very interested in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was scrambling, and the New York Stadium here, all the Rotherham fans were saying shoot, maybe more in hope than expectation, but Tehi gladly obliged, and it wasn't far away at all, was it?
Inches over from Tehi. Well played forward by Hladky. Harness rather overran that one. Hurst is battling on halfway, does well, but then Onyedinma wins it back, and the ball poked forward for Morsey, and Morsey now will feed it out wide. Here's Mbakisa down the right hand side. Oh, he thought Onyedinma was there on the overlap, and Onyedinma just switched off for a moment there, and Ipswich can play it out from the back, and that's what they'll do, and they do it well. Morsey will bring it forward now, driving run. He's challenged, good challenge from Nombe as well, and well, since the goal, you have to say, there was a little bit of a response from Ipswich, Courtney, but Rotherham are starting to win all the 50-50s now. Yeah, they are, and Klukes as well, getting himself more into the game. He switched over to the right-hand side for a period of time and coming back. Just Rotherham, they're getting undone ever so slightly at times with the press. They're still not quite getting it right. The willingness is there, but in terms of the numbers and body shape to show Ipswich into a certain position, it's not quite there yet. Johansson goes long, Burgess wins the header, and now it'll be brought down by Luongo. Morsey will take it from him, and Ipswich have it back. They trail by a goal to nil here with Had 15 minutes live on Talksport 2. Mark Wilson with the former Sheffield United striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. And the ball now over on the far side. I can tell you in Group G, RB Leipzig, a goal up at Red Star Belgrade. Leipzig 1-0 to the good there. Manchester City 0, Young Boys 0. And Celtic still a goal down over on Talksport right now to Atletico Madrid. Ball intercepted by Lembakisa. Onyedinma does well in a tight spot. Tay now recycles possession and Morsey rolls it back to his goalkeeper Johansson. Hurst goes to closing down. Johansson drives it downfield. It'll bounce once and go out for a throw-in down below us here. And it remains Rotherham 1, Ipswich Town 0. Sam Nombe with the opening goal. Nice finish from him from close in. And now the ball with Luongo. Ball given away straight to Nombe here. Back to goal. Again, he's turned it down the line. And again, Onyedinma didn't make the run. And well, the locals just to our right-hand side, they're a tough crowd to please here. They weren't too happy with Fred about that one.
No, they want him to get forward because they've seen it in the first few minutes. When he gets forward and down that right-hand channel and is aggressive and gets the ball in the box, a wonderful opportunity presents itself to Nombe and the score from it. So that's what they want to see more of. But I think as well, just that communication between Nombe and Onyedinma, he probably wanted it to feet.
Well, here's the chance for Ipswich. They go to the ground. They're going to get a free kick here right on the goal line. It was in down the right-hand side. Jackson was the one chasing it. He went to ground. Cohen Bramall, the judge, have pushed him. A couple of goals in Group F, which will be of big interest in Newcastle. Remember, Newcastle beaten 2-0 earlier on at Borussia Dortmund. Skriniar put Paris Saint-Germain in front, but Rafael Leao has equalised for AC Milan. It's 1-1 in that one now. And now a chance to make it 1-1 here. Leif Davis is going to go across to that far side, to the left back, down the right-hand side. He's going to look to swing this in. And this is going to be a real test of Victor Johansson and his defence as they try and defend this 1-0 lead. Davis is the only person over there. He's probably about 6 yards away from the byline. A couple of yards to the right of the penalty area. And he's going to try and whip this in. And now it's Rotherham's turn to have everybody back in their own penalty area and pretty much within 10 yards of their own goal here. So there's a host of bodies in there. The referee blows the whistle. Here's Davis now. He squares it to the edge of the area to Morsey, who hits it. Oh, what a goal! Sam Morsey from inside the D. It was a planned move. Leif Davis rolls it back. And Sam Morsey buries it in the top corner. And Ipswich Town are level here at the New York Stadium. It's 1-1.
Wow, straight off the training ground, but there's a lot to like about this. Yes, the finish is fantastic, and I'll get to that, but this is really clever from Ipswich, the way that they pen all the Rotherham United players in, so they're giving Morsey that time as the ball goes out to him to pick his spot, and then it's brilliant. He doesn't put his laces through it, he doesn't lash at this ball, he just places it, it's side foot, it's so controlled into that top left-hand corner. It's a really beautiful goal.
It's a great finish. He's just picked his spot and passed it into the top corner, hasn't he? Johansson had no chance. It's 1-1 here. And Sam Morsey, who's had spells just down the road at Chesterfield and at Barnsley, he'll have enjoyed that one. Back in this part of the world, it was a great goal. And it is 1-1. And everybody in the ground was expecting Leif Davis to whip that in, and he just rolled it beautifully into the path, and Morsey made no mistake.
Yeah, and I think in that position, as you say, a left-footed in swinging, you're thinking, right, they're getting that many bodies in the box because they want to put Johansson under pressure. You're thinking Davis might swing it in, try and find that top left-hand corner as we look at the goal, and they do find it, but it's from Morsey instead. It's really well worked.
It is indeed, and now they've got a throw in. Chaplin wanted to take it quickly. He does take it quickly. Hurst does well to get on the end of it. He couldn't quite find Luongo. Ball play full for Nombe. And all the early pressure, that early goal for Rotherham, well, it's been pegged back. It's 1-1 here on Talksport 2. We did have the feeling that there would be goals tonight, and these two have not let us down in the opening few minutes. Elsewhere, Atletico Madrid leads Celtic by 1-0. AC Milan 1, Paris Saint-Germain 1. Red Star Belgrade 0, Leipzig 1. Earlier on, Dortmund beat Newcastle by 2-0, and Shakhtar Donetsk surprise 1-0 win over Barcelona in Group H. In the Scottish Premiership, St Johnstone lead Motherwell by 2-0. In League One, Wigan 1, Peterborough 0. And in League Two, Colchester 0, Swindon 1. What a setback Swindon had at the weekend, getting thumped in the cup by Aldershot. Well, they're winning away tonight at Colchester. Here the ball on halfway now with Luongo. Just rolls it into Hurst, who got caught but got the pass away. Had often got a piece of him. Referee plays advantage. Jackson has it. Oh, he tried to play it into the run of the fullback Harry Clark there, but he just overclubbed it, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Still 1-1. We've had 21 minutes here on Talksport 2. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk alongside us. What have you made of it so far? Yeah,
it's been a great watch for the neutral. Obviously, we've had a couple of goals already. I was impressed with the start that the Millers had, and in terms of getting the ball forward, getting in dangerous areas, obviously scoring the goal. And actually, I think the goal comes against the run of play, the Ipswich goal. I thought they were sort of in the ascendancy again, the Millers trying to find that second goal, and now it's quite even as it stands, and it'll be interesting just to see how Rotherham now deal with this setback. Are Ipswich going to just start to gain momentum and run away with it?
There's an interesting one there. Ayala and Hurst went for a challenge, and both of them went to head it, and both of them turned around, didn't know where the ball was. It rolled out of play. Ayala, thinking it'd come off him, tried to clear it, and the referee gave him the throw-in anyway. Still 1-1. Lumbakisa will take it inside his own half. Onyedimna tried to flick it on, but headed it straight back to his teammate, who then volleys it forward up towards halfway. Nombe and Burgess having a bit of a wrestle, and Twanzebe comes in. And then it's hooked forward by Harness. Just a second league start of the season for Marcus Harness, but he got 2 goals at the weekend, and that pass across the edge of the Rotherham box was a bit risky. Chaplin almost nicked in. Ball's hammered down the touchline. Cafu will give chase. Twanzebe will beat him across there and rolls it back to his goalkeeper, who gets it out to Burgess near side. Ball back inside the Ipswich penalty area, and all those that have made the long trip up here to South Yorkshire from Suffolk are on their feet away to our right. They're in good spirits, having seen their side get back level in this game. Crossfield pass from Burgess, just too high, couldn't be kept in by Jackson. Far side. Mixed night for the under-21 sides in the EFL Trophy. Liverpool are winning at Barrow by a goal to 0. Crawley 2, Villa 0. AFC Wimbledon 2, Palace under-21s 0. Cambridge 2, Tottenham Hotspur under-21s 0. And Fulham under-21s lead Gillingham by a goal to 0. Chelsea under-21s are 2-0 down at Oxford, and West Ham under-21s are 3-0 up at Cheltenham. Ball over on the far side with Rotherham. 1-1 here if you just joined us. Rotherham in front inside 4 minutes. Sam Nombe with his first league goal for the club was cancelled out by Sam Morse's wonderful edge of the box curling shot straight into the top corner for 1-1. Here are Rotherham though, looking to launch an attack of their own. They've got it with Bramall. He just checked out there, finds Tay. Cafu has it on the left-hand side, lays it back. Can they engineer a cross? And they try to feed it into Morsey, and again just overhit there, and the ball skips away off the slick surface and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was almost like Rotherham ran out of ideas there for a moment. Did well, gained some yardage, good possession and keeping the ball, but then it was almost like, right, we need to try and do something. We need to get it in the box. We need to get a shot off. And really it was the wrong moment. They just needed to stay on the ball.
Can't tell you that Erling Haaland has scored from a penalty spot. Manchester United 1, Young Boys 0, as Chaplin goes into a 50-50 tackle and is dispossessed there by Bramall, but the ball to Rathbone, he couldn't control it, and it's back in the possession of Ipswich. Only one league loss, that came at home against Leeds United earlier in the season. Here is Leif Davis, a former Leeds player, and he's driving through here, but they got his feet in a tangle there and ended up just kicking the ball straight to a Rotherham defender, and Onyedimna's fouled and he falls on the ball, and that will be a free kick midway inside his own half. 1-1 here.
Yeah, certainly initially from Leif Davis. I think his feet were almost moving too fast for him, and the ball gets stuck under his feet, and then when he falls, it's certainly not a foul.
Free kick for Johansson then. Just has to move back a couple of yards. Clear night here in South Yorkshire. Perfect conditions for a good game, and so far the game is delivering. Rotherham looking to get back in front, will go long. Nombe does well in the air. Davis with a header. It wasn't a good one initially, and in the end Burgess was quick to react and diverts it back to Hladky. the goalkeeper. So for a second they were going to get in there, Rotherham, but it wasn't to be. It'll be interesting now, won't it? Now they've been pegged back, Courtney, what their mindset is like. How brave are they to take the game? Because just signs that Ipswich is starting to find their gear, aren't they?
Yeah, it is, and it's difficult, isn't it? Because I think psychology is a massive thing in football, because if you look at it, they're back on level terms, so they're no worse off than at the start of the game. But once you get in front, then you get pegged back. Then, as I've mentioned, in terms of what this team have been through lately, there's obviously a lack of winning, and that's in the back of your head, so there's a lack of confidence, and then your mind starts to play silly tricks on you, and especially with the form that Ipswich are in, it's a difficult one. But I think they just need to obviously stick to their process and do what got them ahead in the first place, rather than panic that the fact that Ipswich have got themselves back on level terms.
It was a good crunching tackle went in there in the midfield from Rotherham to win it, but Ipswich have won it back. Now they've got a free kick for a robust challenge over on the far side, and they'll take it quickly. And Ipswich in possession with Luongo. Here's Morsey now, looking for the ball over the top. Harness is giving chase. Limbakisa should beat him to it, should I say, but Harness has done well to keep that in. Finds Davis. He could have put the ball into the area, but only saw one white shirt waiting, so he opts to just keep possession for the time being. And the ball's back in the centre circle with Burgess. And out again to Davis. Now this time he's going to put a cross in. It's a good ball, bounces just over the head of Hurst, and then a little bit of hesitation at the back from Bramwell. He's been caught in possession. He got very lucky there that the ball fell to a teammate, and they will, or they should, pass the ball down this near side. They earn a throw in. A little bit of a risk there from Bramwell.
Yeah, a bit of hesitancy, and one of those cardinal sins really as a defender. You can't start running across your own box with the ball, and nearly gets caught out, and they're just the little bits of nervousness now I'm seeing within the Rotherham play.
Tomorrow night, live Champions League football on Talksport. Copenhagen against Manchester United. Big game, that one. Jim Proudfoot, the former Scotland defender. Scott Minto, our commentary team. Then on Thursday, live in the Europa League, Toulouse, Liverpool, live on Talksport 2. Alex Crook and the former England striker Dean Ashton. Then on Friday, we're back in the Championship. Blackburn against Preston. There'll be no love lost there. That will be lively. Joe Shannon is with Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, who's with us tonight. Yeah, it'll be fiery there at Lancashire derby.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game, and obviously both teams as well trying to get themselves right up there in this wonderful league we call the Championship.
Yeah. Ball now here with Burgess on halfway. Looks for the ball for Harness. Harness tried to feed it through for Hurst and just cut out. Hurst made a great run, but Harness pass just couldn't find him. Here's Rathbone now. Gets it wide to Cafu. Nombe bursts through the middle, but they opted just again to keep possession here, Rotherham. And Rotherham will go back and now look to bring in their goalkeeper Johansson. 1-1 if you just switched on. Rotherham in front inside 4 minutes, but Nombe's early goal cancelled out by Sam Morsey's wonderful 20-yard shot that gave Johansson no chance. Johansson's wanting this ball to roll out for a goal kick, and it isn't going to do. And eventually, that was one of those farcical situations where Hurst was offside. The ball didn't roll out of play, so Hurst goes to close the ball down. As soon as he does it, he's offside and the flag goes up.
And the assistant can see exactly what he's doing to go and close the ball down, but then can't flag until he's about to make the challenge. It's one of those strange rules within football that no one really likes.
No, it just doesn't work, does it, that one? As soon as he goes forward, really, the flag just should have gone up and that would have been the end of it. Ball headed forward here by Ipswich. Here is the aforementioned Hurst, who can't keep it in. He thought he'd won a throw in. The officials think otherwise. Still 1-0 over on Talksport. Atletico Madrid lead Celtic by 1-0. Not been a good night so far for the British sides. Newcastle beaten earlier on Talksport 2 in Dortmund by 2-0. Nombe did really well there. Onyedinma brings it down. They were appealing for handball. It's cleared towards the edge of the area. Cafu laid it off for Morsey, and the pass was never really on. Now the break could be on. Harness streaks away through the middle. Morsey tries to bring him down. Be interested whether the referee comes back for that. He will. It was a foul by Morsey in the centre circle. Morsey's got his head in his hands. He can't believe it. But Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, should Cafu have been a little bit more unselfish there, edge of the area, and pulled the trigger?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's in a good position, and once you're in and around the area, trust yourself, and especially the way it's set up for him really well. Take the shot on, and especially when it comes through bodies, you never know, it might take a deflection and go in the top corner, and that's where, again, Rotherham, they've built a really good opportunity, but then when it presents itself to you, you've got to take the shot on.
You do indeed. 1-1 here then. 31 approaching on the clock. Live on Talksport 2. That was some of the former Sheffield United women's striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. And the ball is on halfway. Ipswich will bring it forward again, dominating possession as you would expect here. Team second in the Championship and in great form, 10 unbeaten in the league coming into this one. And now the ball over on this near side, and it'll come to Leif Davis on halfway. Rotherham are trying to push forward, but Ipswich too cute for that and retain possession. Burgess to Davis. Davis cuts in. Now he finds Luongo, who in turn finds Harness wide on the left-hand side. Harness squares it back to Leif Davis. Now tries to turn it into Luongo, who's been wrestled for the ball, and then he was tugged back, and that was unnecessary there from Onyedimna. Didn't need to put his hands on the back of the player there, and this is a dangerous free kick.
No, he doesn't, because Luongo is facing back towards his own goal, so there's no need to put hands on him in that position, and now you've given Ipswich a free kick in a really good area.
Yes, probably about 30-35 yards out from goal. It's right in line with the left-hand side of the penalty area. Leif Davis, we know he can swing them in. Rotherham are trying to hold a high line edge of the 18-yard box here. Longo is wandering away. I thought he was just going to give the option for an easy 2-on-1 there, but he's gone to wait on the edge of the penalty area as well. Leif Davis to take it then. Everybody back for Rotherham. Left-footed, floats it up. Johansson's coming into traffic to get it, and Johansson does come and get it and claims it nicely and races out to the edge of his area, but there was no quick pass on for him, and I think Leif Davis will be a little bit disappointed with that delivery.
Yeah, he will. I don't think it was the best of ball. It had a lot of backspin on it, really, so it didn't have too much pace in it, so hung up in the air for quite a while, and Johansson easily really comes and collect that, but I like it, the fact that he commands his area well, comes and gets it, and just calms the play down for Rotherham.
Ball played forward, Lembakisa brings it down, Rathbone gets it, here's Onyedimna, neat pass there, but Burgess read it well. It'll break back to Tehi in the middle of the field for Rotherham. Onyedimna's trying to make a run in behind, the ball though was arrowed in at Nombe and he couldn't control it. A little bit too much pace on that one, and here's Morsey, the goal scorer, at 1-1 here at the New York Stadium, and the ball with Axel Tuanzebe brings it forward. Nobody goes to close him down, so he's just going to keep walking up towards the halfway line. Feeds it out on that far side to Harry Clark. Ball over the top. Good run from Hurst, who went down. Now, was he touched there? They're appealing for a penalty. I'm not so sure it was a foul as such, Courtney, but there was a tangling of legs there, and Hurst just slipped, really, and the referee waved it away. It'd be one of those, if we had the old VAR, they'd be having a look at that one, I think.
I'll be honest, I think that would have been a penalty, and actually in real time looked like a penalty to me. Yes, the defender slips, but the problem is when he slips, he then takes the back foot of Hurst, and it's in the box, he's denying an opportunity. So it would have been harsh in a sense because the defender slipped, but by the letter of the law, for me, I think that should have been a penalty.
Yeah, he looked round instantly, Hurst. His movement's been really good so far. They haven't quite been able to find him. That's the first time they've got him in the box, and his touch was good. And they're looking for him again here. Chaplin made the run. Well, that's cut out, and Rotherham have it back. 1-1. We've got just over 10 minutes to the break here, and Rotherham have got themselves a throw-in over on the far side. Game Day Live is back on the Talksport Network on Saturday. What a cracking day we've got. Wolves against Spurs is live and exclusive on Talksport at 12:30. I'll be up at the Stadium of Light in the Championship for Sunderland against Birmingham. Mickey Gray, former Sunderland man, will be with us for that. And then we're around the grounds from 2:30 on Talksport with all the goals as they go in. And at 3 o'clock here on Talksport 2, more live and exclusive Premier League commentary of Arsenal as they take on Burnley, who are struggling at the wrong end of the Premier League. And it's interesting, isn't it, Courtney? All the stick that Sheffield United and Paul Heckingbottom have been getting. Well, they got that win at the weekend. And they're level on points with Burnley at the moment.
Well, exactly, and I was actually at the Luton game as well on Sunday as a fan, and holding their own against Liverpool, and you know, those teams are now picking up points, and it's strange, isn't it, because Burnley, they blew the rest of the Championship away, but struggling in the Premier League.
Yeah, they are. Here's Morsey on the right, puts in a good-looking ball. Keeper comes and Superman style punches it away. Ayala's, he's all over Hurst here. He's pulling the shirt off his back, but Hurst gets away, and now he pushes it wide for Jackson. He has just pushed him towards the touchline, but the break is on here. Now the ball laid back. Can they find a cross? They'll find a runner, edge of the area, cross back, and it's out for a corner to Ipswich Town. Well, that was a good break, and probably lucky for Ayala, the referee played on there, because that was a blatant foul.
Yeah, it is, but I'm sure he could have, given out the yellow card afterwards once the break in play. He's lucky to get away with that, but as you mentioned, that ball then from Hurst, it was just slightly wider than Jackson would have wanted it, but still make something of it. The great deep run from Morsey, and managed to get themselves a corner, Ipswich.
Yeah, Morsey's waiting in exactly the same spot that he scored from, but this time the ball is whipped in near post, headed away by Nombe. Good header at the near post, laid out wide on the Ipswich right-hand side. It'll come back here now to Harry Clark. Clark's going to stand up the ball. Keeper comes to get it, and that's good hands from the keeper, Johansson. He was strong there, jumped into bodies, but came up with the ball. It's still 1-1.
Yeah, and exactly what you want from your keeper. Coming out, commanding the area, making sure that they collect the ball, and it's that's good for Johansson, because then it just alleviates a little bit of pressure for Rotherham.
Yeah, it's indeed. Ball played forward by Rotherham. Burgess wins the header. Nombe though did well, but not really had any support there. Rathbone couldn't keep the ball, and it's played forward. Hurst again the target up against the Dauphin, who stood his ground well, but the ball breaks for Chaplin. Well, the referee did penalise Hurst. I just thought for a moment he did jump into a Dauphin a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, there was a bit of contact. I don't know whether it was almost the side of a Dauphin's face. Again from Hurst, I don't think that was anything untoward. It was just the leverage, but I do think that the referee's probably called that right. Yeah,
well, the Ipswich fans are not too happy with that, but it is a free kick for Rotherham. 7.5 to go to the break. You're live on Talksport 2. Atletico Madrid leads Celtic over on Talksport, so if you've got the app, you can swipe left and right between the two. Ball played forward. Rathbone was offside, so that'll be a sarcastically received decision by the Ipswich Town fans. 1-1 here. In Group G, Leipzig lead Red Star Belgrade by a goal to nil. Manchester City, courtesy of Erling Haaland's penalty, lead Young Boys by a goal to nil. And FC Porto lead Antwerp 1-0 in Group H, where Shakhtar Donetsk beat Barcelona early on by a goal to nil. In Scotland, St Johnstone lead Motherwell 2-0 at half-time. And in League One, it's half-time. Shrewsbury 0, Bolton 0, Reading 0, Bristol Rovers 0 there. Still a bit to go to half-time. And Wigan 1, Peterborough 0. Here come Ipswich. Twanzebe to Luongo. Across this near side to Cameron Burgess. It's midway between the penalty area and the edge of his own box, and he'll just square the ball back to Twanzebe. And Rotherham are trying to hold their shape. They're trying to be tough to break down, but Leif Davis has cushioned a header in towards Harness, and he's going to get a corner. Ayala, in diverting it away from Harness, puts it behind for a corner. That was just one ball forward, wasn't it? Leif Davis unmarked there.
Yeah, it wasn't. I like the adaptability from Ipswich, because if it's not there to play on and go through the thirds, they won't persist with it and lose the ball. So the fact that they'll play the long ball when it's on, and then, for Rotherham, the opposing team, it's difficult because you don't know whether they're going to go long, whether they're going to play through the third. So it's sometimes difficult to get set.
Corner then whipped in towards the edge of the area. It's headed down. Free header as well there. And that was the fullback, Harry Clark, and he's headed it wide of the target. It was about 13, 14 yards out from goal, but he was unmarked.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened there. I think it was off the ball, but Doffin's looking and speaking to the referee and the assistant, because he was on the floor at that point. But it's a really good opportunity for Clark. As you say, he wasn't marked and should have done better with it, really.
Yeah, should have done. Still 1-1 here. Sam Nombe with his first league goal for Rotherham. On 4 minutes, Sam Morsey replied on 18 after a well-worked free kick, and he curled it in beautifully from the D on the edge of the area for 1-1. Not too many chances after that. Matt Taylor looks on down below us, and About 40 yards to his left is Kieran McKenna and the Ipswich Town dugout. And the ball out for a throw-in, free kick to Ipswich, which they take quickly. Haladki gets it away to Twanzebe, and he will move it out on that far side, and cutting in field now is Clark, and Clark will switch play to his full-back on the other side, which is Leif Davis, and he'll play it down the line. Back here now to Massimo Luongo, former Sheffield Wednesday player. And now the ball back over on the far side. Jackson looked for the quick ball, but ball now breaks for Morsey, and all of a sudden it's Ipswich who are picking up all the loose balls at the moment, just working their way forward. Morsey, the goal scorer, looks to feed it into Hurst, who comes short. Back to Morsey. Jackson has got a good position on the right. They don't quite go to him yet. Hurst with a dummy, but it's intercepted by Rotherham, who are going to look to try and break. Nombe's got nobody with him. If he looks up, let's see, Onyedimna's made a good run. He just couldn't quite find the path of that run, but Onyedimna will keep it in wide on the right-hand side. Lembakisa goes trying to get forward and make an extra man. Here is Lembakisa now. Little step over, little turn. He's down the right-hand side. He puts in the cross near post, and in the end it's bundled behind by Twanzebe, who was appealing that he was fouled by Nombe, and it's out for a corner to Rotherham. They did well in a tight spot there. Yeah, they did. Initially I thought the moment had gone when that ball from Nombe was just too far wide for Onyedimma, but he does really well to keep it alive. And then Lembakisa, very similar ball to the one for the goal that Onyedimma put in, just trying to find a good area, but this time it's Nombe just can't quite get in front of Twanzebe. So Sam Klukas will take this one and swing it in towards the far post. Keeper comes to collect, and that was a little bit too easy. Alecki now, look at this. 4 white shirts on 4 red ones, and it's Jackson leading the charge straight down the middle of the field. Tries to feed it for Harness, won't get there. Keeper off his line quickly, but that was a chance straight from the corner kick, and again Ipswich on the break there. If that pass is better, Courtney, that was a chance. Yeah, there was the ball into Harness that wasn't good enough, and actually there was Hurst that was almost in line with Jackson, that he could have played to his right. But you're looking at the time now was Rotherham and Ipswich equally, where you're thinking, right, we need to get into half time now, keep it as it is, don't concede in these last few minutes. So the fact that Rotherham have got done so easily there on the break, that'll worry them ever so slightly. Nombe did well. Here's Rappo on edge of the area, goes past his man, but Davis will get the ball away from him, and Davis is going to earn a free kick that appeals more, that decision, to those who've made their way up from Ipswich. One of those that the defenders always seem to get. Yeah, and that's the thing, especially the defender gets himself in a good position between the ball and using the byline as well. It's always difficult as the forward player to come out with the ball in that situation. Yeah, ball played in behind. Here now is Jackson down the right-hand side. Can he find a teammate? There are 2 white shirts waiting in the middle. He's crossed it above all of them. Leif Davis arriving late. Is he going to hit it? Has a touch, drills it across goal, and it's cleared away. Great header in the 6-yard box there from Akima Doffin, but Ipswich have still got it back. Here's Davis now. Just tries to work it into Luongo, and Onyedimna was in there, and I think he has put it in the end behind for a corner. But Ipswich showing once again on the break. That was a great ball for Jackson, and Jackson's cross was there to be put in. Yeah, it was, and thought Luongo, though, in the end did really well there just to win the corner for Ipswich, because if he doesn't go and try and compete with Onyedimma there, that ball goes out for a goal kick. So really good harrying to get the corner. Well, we've got less than 40 seconds to go, the 45 opening minutes here. Not too many stoppages. Can Ipswich get in front before the break? Davis, it's cleared partially away, falls edge of the area, it's hooked forward. Alecki, the goalkeeper, was on the halfway line there. He's got it now. He's looking to play it out wide on this near side. Davis just knocks it down the line for Harness. Then Davis cuts back inside on his right foot. Feeds it in now for Chaplin, and his ball forwards dispossessed, and now it's Rotherham who are looking to break. 3 red shirts. Strong challenge comes in by Jackson, and the referee, I think, has blown his whistle. Well, we've got 2 added on minutes here. It did look as though it was a challenge from the back there from Jackson. He did get the ball, Courtney, but I think he got the man as well. Yeah, and initially I don't think the referee was going to blow up for it. It looked like he was going to let play continue, and then blew up in the end. And as you mentioned, it's the challenge on Cafu there, and yes,
Jackson does get a little bit of the ball, but I think he has to go through the player to get it.
Yeah, it's one of those awkward ones for us because we think it's a free kick, but there's no immediate signal, is there, from the referee? So we weren't sure. And we only know by the frustrated reaction of Jackson.
Yeah, to me initially I thought it's got to be a free kick and was surprised when it looked like the referee was playing on. But I think you see the reaction of Caffrey probably shows that Jackson has gone through him to get the ball.
So free kick then. We're in the 2 added on minutes here. They've just moved it a little bit nearer to the halfway line there, Rotherham. Well, look at this. Ipswich are trying to hold a line 10 yards over the halfway line. Ball played towards Dauphin, wins the header, edge of the area. Will it fall? And the shot eventually is sliced wide. It was half a chance though there. Dauphin certainly won the first header, but they couldn't follow it up with a shot that was on target, and it's behind for a goal kick. Still 1-1.
No, but don't mind that from Rotherham in terms of just causing a bit of chaos. Dauphin does well getting the first header, and then they're getting bodies around the second ball, and don't blame him for taking the shot on in that position. It was a difficult one though, and flies over.
More bad news for Celtic over on Talksport. Alvaro Morata has given Atletico a 2-0 lead over Celtic. It's also Manchester City 2, Young Boys 0. Phil Foden scored in added on time at the end of the first half there. Manchester City 2, Young Boys 0. Earlier on it ended Dortmund 2, Newcastle 0. Tomorrow night we'll have live commentary on Talksport of Manchester United's trip to Denmark. They take on Copenhagen. Another big game for them after a disappointing start to their campaign in Europe. Here is Luongo, tries to pick out on this near side Davis, and in the end Limbakisa did really well. He feigned as though he was going to go and try and control the ball, and in the end pulled out of the challenge, and it's out for a throw-in, and we amble into the final few seconds of what's been an entertaining first half, it has to be said. It's 1-1 at the moment. Can tell you Lazio have taken the lead over Feyenoord as well. That's in Group E. 1-0 Lazio lead there. All back to Johansson. Johansson now will look to clear it forward. I think the referee may well decide that'll be enough for the first half when this ball is in the air, and that's exactly what he does. And a warm reaction in the end from Rotherham fans, who will have been disappointed after they went in front inside 4 minutes. Sam Nombe on the end of a great Fred Onyedimna run. His cross-come shot from the right-hand side. Nombe slid in and put it into the back of the net to give the Millers the lead. But Ipswich, well, they produced an almost instant response. They couldn't quite come up with equaliser straight away, but they got one back on 18 after a free kick given, not like a short corner. Leif Davis rolled it into the D edge of the area. Sam Morsey was there to curl it in the top corner and give Johansson no chance. Ipswich will look dangerous on the break thereafter, but haven't quite been able to create too many opportunities. George Hurst had an appeal for a penalty, waved away at the other end. Rotherham have got the ball in the box a couple of times, but haven't yet been able to test out Václav Hladký in the Ipswich goal. 1-1 at the break, Courtney Sweetman. Kurt, what do you make of that first half?
Yeah, I was impressed by the start that Rotherham made, getting themselves in front, and for quite a while in that first half looked real good value. But Ipswich, I feel, just turned it on a little bit more. I think that free kick, it was wonderful to watch. It was really well worked, and one that straight off the training ground. And then after that, they were the ones that just seemed to have, the impetus going forward, created more chances. But the most important thing for Rotherham is it's 1-1. They're still well in this game, and I think they've got time then to go in, speak to the manager, Matt Taylor, and just reset and figure out how they're going to approach the second half of this game.
How do Rotherham win this game, do you feel, if they can't win it?
I think for me, they can't keep dropping deeper and deeper. I appreciate that Ipswich are having more of the ball, but they've got to be really careful about doing that, because the deeper that you drop, the more pressure that you invite. And I think especially because Rotherham are trying to play on the counter-attack at times, the deeper you drop, the more ground then you've got to make up to the Ipswich goal. So it's about, getting in good areas, getting crosses into the box, because Nombe, you see already, he looks sharp, he looks bright, he's getting himself in the right areas. Obviously defend your box really well and have a bit of composure going forward, because there are times when Rotherham have won the ball back, but then they give it away as soon as they win it, because they're trying to find that ball forward a bit too quickly for my liking.
Yeah, well, here at the New York Stadium, lots of youngsters coming onto the field to get their moment in the big time, if you like. They're going to have some mini football games at the break, but here at the New York Stadium, it's all level and all to play for. It's Rotherham United 1, Ipswich Town 1.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the Premier League and the EFL.
It's Glovebox Goodies time at Arnold Clark. Pick from 3 amazing gifts when you buy any car this weekend. Choose from a £50 Love to Shop voucher, a £50 M&SE gift card, or a Road Angel dashcam. Don't miss Glovebox Goodies. It starts this Friday in every Arnold Clark. See arnoldclark.com.
Righty here for Gillette. Have I got something for you? The Gillette Labs razor has a unique exfoliating bar that clears the path before the blades for effortless shaving in one stroke, leaving you fresh and ready to take on your day in no time. And at Gillette, we promise you that Gillette Labs is the ultimate shave, or, I've always wanted to say this, your money back. Gillette, the best a man can get. 18 plus, retain receipt, terms and conditions apply.
Our next tablet. Well, it needs a big screen for all my true crime shows.
And I need to browse recipes so I can knock Susan off her perch at the next office bake-off
And I want to draw dinosaurs!
The new Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 FE Plus. With a 12.4-inch screen and Creative S Pen, it's for everyone. Buy now to claim 6 months of Disney Plus on us. RRP $7.99 per month after 6 months. Offer ends 31st of March. Redeem by 1st of May. Cancel anytime. 18 plus. T's and C's apply.
A magical Christmas with Lidl means serving your tipples with party time nibbles. With 12 tempura prawns for $1.79, a pack of chicken satay skewers for $1.99, or 12 vegetable spring rolls just 99p. There's finger food for every mood in Lidl stores now. Now that's big on quality and always Lidl on price. Subject to availability, selected stores excludes NI.
Julius Caesar here. I have trust issues, probably because my friends betrayed me to death. So when I need a tradesperson, I don't trust them, I trust Checkatrade. They check all their tradespeople and check the reviews are real, so I know they'll get the job done right without the treachery. Recommendations you can rely on.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the EFL.
Talksport Wednesday night live Champions League action.
Oh, it's in!
Wonderful, wonderful Copenhagen versus magical Manchester United.
What a chance, what a goal!
Prelims from 7, kick-off 8 p.m. sharp on the nation's favourite, Talksport.
Talksport Podcast League. Outspoken, the best of White and Jordan.
Now available in one unmissable daily podcast.
He's going to be in charge for a considerable period of time.
It's a load of old pony. The final word on the final scores with Jim Mighty White.
I really mean this with sincerity.
And Simon the Saint Jordan.
What on earth have you got?
I think I look like the Saint. I think it's a Simon Temple outlook. I expected to hear the
Outspoken, out now.
Listen or download for free from your favourite podcast portal.
Fisherman's Blues with Nigel Bolloway this Sunday morning from 6 on Talksport 2.
Welly boots are a preference for the habitual voyeur of what is known as...
it's a bit dicey.
On life. A soggy bum can be avoided if you take a bivvy when you do what is known as...
Happy days indeed.
On life. Got a flask of tea and a big pack of my favourite fish paste sandwiches. Oh, I love a bit of it.
Incredible.
On life. Look at that brown trout biting. You should tighten up your slack line, mate. Use a better fly. Oh, the anglers.
I like this a lot.
So many anglers. They all go rod in hand through their pond life.
Don Worms. Yes, but I'm still going fishing. Fisherman's Blues with me, Nigel Bolloway, this Sunday morning from 6 on Talksport 2.
On DAB+, online, via the TalkSport app, and on your smart speaker. EFL Live on TalkSport 2.
We're about to get underway here on TalkSport 2, your home of the EFL. And it is live and exclusive on national radio. Rotherham against Ipswich. Here's Onyedimna, and he's nicked it away from Davis, and he's driving to the edge of the area. He's going to have a shot cross goal, and it's turned in, and Nombe has his goal for Rotherham United. Tucks it in from close range. Onyedimna. Referee blows the whistle. Here's Davis now. He squares it to the edge of the area to Morsey, who hits it. Oh, what a goal! Sam Morsey from inside the D. It was a planned move. Leif Davis rolls it back, and and Sam Morsey buries it in the top corner, and Ipswich Town are level here. Yes, all live in the Championship on Talksport 2, Rotherham 1, Ipswich 1. Full second half commentary to come on the way here from the New York Stadium. Let's have a look elsewhere around Europe. In Group E, not good news over on Talksport tonight. Atletico Madrid 2, Celtic 0 at the break. That game live on Talksport. Lazio in that group lead Feyenoord by a 1-0. Elsewhere early on, Dortmund beat Newcastle by 2 goals to in Group F. It's level at the break. AC Milan 1, Paris Saint-Germain 1. In Group G, RB Leipzig a goal up at Red Star Belgrade, and Manchester City, courtesy of goals from Erling Haaland and Phil Foden, lead Young Boys by 2 goals to 0. Earlier on, Shakhtar Donetsk were surprise 1-0 winners over Barcelona. Porto lead Antwerp by a 0 in that group as well. In the Premiership in Scotland, St Johnstone lead Motherwell 2-0 early on, second half there. League One, it's goalless between Shrewsbury and Bolton. Wigan lead Peterborough by a 0 and at half-time Reading lead Bristol Rovers by a 0 In League Two, second half just got underway. Colchester 1, Swindon 1. In the EFL Trophy, there have been wins for Barrow, beating Liverpool 2-1. AFC Wimbledon have beaten Palace under-21s 2-0. Cambridge have beaten Spurs 4-1. And Fulham have won at Gillingham by a 0 Oxford 5, Chelsea under-21s 0 is a full-time, as is Fleetwood 4, Leicester City under-21s 0 as well. We'll keep you up to date with all those goals as they go in the second half. Well, earlier on here on Talksport 2, we brought you live Champions League action as Borussia Dortmund hosted Newcastle. Sam Matterface and the former Newcastle manager Alan Pardew were on commentary duty, and this was how the game played out.
Newcastle have gone from a team languishing in the Premier League relegation zone to this. A date with Dortmund and a congregation of their ear-splitting fans, both fighting to stay in the Champions League. Sabitser's made a good run. Andy Yemi gets a shot away, punched away by Pope. Up to the edge of the penalty area, a little flick onto Fulkrug, who tries to return it to Sabitzer, who turned back into Fulkrug, taps it into the roof of the net with his left foot. And they went a little bit missing at the back there, Newcastle. And the combination of Fulkrug and Sabitzer have opened up Newcastle's defence. Cross into the box. Joe Linton with a header. He's missed it 7 yards out. It's a golden chance to equalise. Now there's a chance to break for Borussia Dortmund, and it's 2-on-1 if it comes in their favour. And Brandt has picked it up, and Livramento's the only player back. He sends it towards the goal and scores on the breakaway. Newcastle punished. Julian Brandt gets his 6th goal of the season, and on a night where Borussia Dortmund needed to prove they were a force to be reckoned with, they've certainly done that. And the referee then blows the full-time whistle. Well, they've got it all to do now. Newcastle United have lost back-to-back Champions League games to Dortmund and will be relying on a bit of luck and a victory at Paris Saint-Germain if they are to progress. It's Dortmund 2, Newcastle 0.
Yeah, that was earlier on Talksport 2. Newcastle have got plenty of injuries. Just reading an article on the Talksport website now that says for the first time since 1997 a team's fielded 7 English players. Newcastle did that tonight. But injuries are a problem, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, aren't they, for Newcastle at the minute? And after that great start when they got 4 points from their opening 2 games, you think, right, go on and get it done. Now, as Sam said there in that piece, they're struggling. They need results maybe from elsewhere now.
Yeah, they do, and I think that's all. Never a position as a club, as players, you want to be in terms of relying on other teams, and obviously it's a real issue in terms of when you play in European football, you need to have as many players fit as possible, and having to juggle that, the domestic, obviously cup competitions and the Premier League, it's a difficult job. So, you know, Eddie Howe is definitely having to shuffle the pack at the moment, but I think those fitness concerns are the big ones really that are really causing the issues, because the lack of rotation I think is really difficult to cope with.
Yeah, I've done him a disservice actually. It's 8 English players that were on display today for Newcastle, but doing it tough at the moment. They had that big win over Arsenal at the weekend, and Arsenal are also in European action tomorrow evening in the Champions League as they host Sevilla. Adrian Durham will be hosting kick-off live from the Emirates tomorrow night, and ahead of the game Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta attempted to explain his comments made after that controversial defeat to Newcastle at the weekend.
It is my duty to stand in front of you, to stand in front of the cameras and give a very clear and honest assessment of what happened on the game. and this is what I did. Reflect very openly how I felt that the team played, and how the game was conditioned by these results with the decisions that were made. And it's the duty. My duty is to be defending my players, supporting my club, defending my people in the best possible way, and this is what I'm going to do time after time. And I do it not the way I feel, with the evidence and being as clear as possible. And I always do it. When we play really need to say that. When we have lost, to take my responsibility, the first one me, to do it. And it's the way that I am, and I have to defend my club. Things they don't happen overnight, you know, and when I was that clear, and when I had all the evidence to stand for the words that I use in the media, is because I feel strongly about them. But one thing I say externally, then as well internally to my players, is how can we play better, how can we be more dominant, how we can do the game the way we want, so giving no chance to the opponents. But one thing is my duty towards you guys, and then my duty as a coach to do what we have to do. And this is exactly what I've done. Nothing special, nothing different, and I would do it. And the club will do it again and again till this is right. And till this is right as well in what we have to do on the pitch to play better and win more football games. That's it.
Yes, Mikel Arteta responding after a controversial defeat at Newcastle on Saturday night. Courtney, should it have been a goal or not?
The problem is, I don't think we've got the technology. I think you look from different angles and it's showing different things. So I think the issue in terms of the technology, how many frames per second, where the camera angles are at for VAR, I think that's something that probably needs to be looked at going forward to give a comprehensive and view of it. And obviously goal line technology is the perfect one, because there's no doubt in what happens there. But I don't think for some of the things that are happening with VAR, we've actually got the technology or the camera angles for the referees to make the right decisions.
Would you have given the goal?
Yeah, because I'm a forward, so you know, the more goals you see in the game, the better, in my opinion.
We'll find out tomorrow night how Arsenal get on. They host Sevilla tomorrow night. We've got live commentary tomorrow of Copenhagen against Manchester United in the Champions League. That's live on Talksport. Commentary from Jim Proudfoot and the former Chelsea defender Scott Minto. And then on Thursday night we're into the Europa League. Early start for this one. Talksport 2, 5:45 kickoff. Toulouse against Liverpool. Alex Crook is alongside the former England striker Dean Ashton. And then on Friday night we're off up to the northwest. Blackburn against Preston. Live and exclusive on Talksport 2. Joe Shannon will be alongside Courtney for that one, with Hugh Wozencroft as well. And then on Saturday, Game Day Live. What a Game Day Live it is as well. We've got live commentaries at 12:30 from the Premier League, live and exclusive on Talksport for Wolves against Spurs. Rashman Chowdhury with Sam Matterface and the former England man Stuart Pearce. I'll be up in the northeast for Sunderland against Birmingham, live in the Championship on Talksport 2. Alongside Faye Carruthers and the former England man Mickey Gray. Right, we're about to get underway here. I can't see that we've had any changes at the breaks of both sides as they were. We'll give you those two teams in a moment. Referee just checking, we're about to get underway. The whistle is blown, and Rotherham in red and white are now going from right to left here. Ipswich in their white shirts, white socks and the black shorts are attacking a goal away to our right. Behind that goal there's probably about 1,500 Ipswich Town fans. Ipswich then have got Ladaki in goal, Davis Burgess, Twanzebe and Clark at the back. Luongo and Morsey are the two holders, with Harness, Chaplin and Jackson behind George Hurst, who's leading the line. And at the other end for Rotherham, Victor Johansson is the goalkeeper. Lembikisa, Ayala, Adolfin and Bramall are the back four. It's Kafute and Rathbone behind Onyedimna, Nombe and Sam Klukas for Rotherham. So we're underway. Victor Johansson will get an early touch after the ball's rolled back to him by Lembikisa. What will Kieran McKenna have said at half-time to his Ipswich Town team, do you think, Courtney?
I think it's not to panic. The fact that obviously they went a goal down, they've got themselves back into the game really well, and I think it's looking what actually happens in the game, because what they've done really well is, yes, they've played through the thirds, but then if they've seen opportunities, especially in wide areas, I think the switches work really well for Ipswich. They've taken those, so I think it's just about believing in what they do, and the goal will come.
Well, they just had a chance on the break there, but the ball to Jackson was a bit short, and as he went to poke it forward, Cafu clattered into him, and the referee gave Ipswich a free kick, and now they'll be playing it over on that far side. Here's Harness, who's been busy and found space, but hasn't been able to threaten the goal as such. He got 2 at the weekend. Jackson's looked lively on this right-hand side. Tuanzebe didn't find him. He'll instead go back to Harry Clark, who now cuts inside, and Clark's looking to switch play. That's a nice ball, but the offside flag will go up. And they just went a yard too early on that far side, Ipswich, and it's a free kick to Rotherham. Still 1-1.
Yeah, it's poor really, because concede down the line and should be keeping himself onside, but as I mentioned 30 seconds or so ago, that switch is working really well for Ipswich. The balls by and large have been pinpoint. They've been really accurate to be able to get out wide quickly.
The referee here has made a real point, and the referee, Mr. Scott, tonight had a good game, got on with it. Just been a bit pedantic there about where the free kick was taken from. He almost went and marked out the spot, didn't he, for Johansson, who will knock it long. Thumps it downfield, and Burgess is across there with a header, and it comes off a Rotherham player out for a throw-in. Still 1-1 here. Interesting times in the Championship, with Leicester getting beaten by Leeds on Friday night. It's just opened things up a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I think, we mentioned earlier Burnley, didn't we? And obviously they ran away with the Championship, but I think that's very rare. The Championship's one of the most exciting leagues, in the world, and it throws up so many random results, ones that you're not expecting. So I don't think that Leicester are going to run away with it this season. Yes, I think they'll be there and abouts. I think they'll get automatic, but there'll definitely be thrills and spills along the way. And if Ipswich, as we said earlier, can keep getting results and hang on their coattails, then come the end of the season, they could be in a very good position.
Yeah, they could be. We'll be back here in a couple of weeks, just after the international break. Rotherham against Leeds will be live and exclusive on the Friday night. We'll be here for that one. Full commentary on Talksport 2. As the ball is over on the Ipswich left, they're looking to play it forward. Hurst again, a willing runner. The ball skims off the top of Ayala and then eventually cleared away, but not cleared properly by the home side. Harness played the ball forward, but now Nombe is having an all-in wrestling game on the far side, and Burgess comes up with the ball. I think him and his fellow centre-half Tuanzebe have been very strong tonight. Here's Chaplin, maybe not being involved as much as I thought he would be tonight, Connor Chaplin. He's been on the edges of it a little bit, hasn't he?
No, I agree. He's normally at the heart of everything, isn't he? But he's pretty much been on the fringe of this game. Not really done too much wrong, but just in terms of the way Ipswich have been playing, he's not been able to get on the ball and influence the play as much as we normally see.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be involved at some point. Ball played over the top. Here's Jackson trying to race it to the edge of the area. Gets the first time cross in. He goes down under the challenge. The Ipswich fans are screaming for a penalty. The referee said play on. Ipswich have it with Luongo on the left. Jackson is still down injured on the byline. Ipswich, I don't think, have realised he's down at the minute. They're going to play on here. They're going to swing the ball into the far post. It'll bounce over Jackson, who's just about to get to his feet. And the Ipswich fans are not happy. He got the cross in. My eyes followed the ball. Did he get clattered after he crossed it?
He did, and that's one of those challenges that, as a forward, is infuriating, because anywhere else on the pitch, that's a free kick because it's late, the ball is gone. But for whatever reason, in the penalty box, it never is, because the argument is, well, you've crossed the ball in, the ball's gone, but it doesn't matter because you've been fouled after the ball has gone. So it's frustrating, and they don't get given enough. But for me, that should be a penalty.
Well, they've had a couple of good shouts, haven't they? Hurst went down in the first half. We thought he got caught as well, so we'll see how that pans out. Here's Tuanzebe, edge of his own penalty area, rolls it forward. Still 1-1. We've had just under 6 minutes of the second half, and the ball across field will roll out of play for a Rotherham throw-in over on that far side. And Caden Jackson still hobbling around a little bit, feeling the after effects of that bump he took. It was a good cross in, actually. I think he'll be disappointed no one was on the end of it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a Doffin that ended up clearing through him, but does ever so well to get the ball in. It drops in a fantastic area, and it's just one of those where no one's made the run. It's unfortunate because someone should have been on the end of it.
Yeah, still 1-1 here. Rotherham are trying to work their way forward. Nombe, I think, has just pulled back Leif Davis. Might have actually caught him on the back of the ankle, and Davis has gone down in a little bit of pain. And he might need some treatment. Referee asks him to get to his feet, and he does. I can tell there's been another goal in Group F. AC Milan lead Paris Saint-Germain by 2-1 in that one. That will have consequences on Newcastle, of course. Manchester City, meanwhile, they're 3-0 up against Young Boys, and it's Erling Haaland with his second goal of the night. And to make it worse, Lorpa's been sent off for a second bookable offence for Young Boys, so they're down to 10. That could be a long old night for them. Manchester City 3-0 up against Young Boys in the Premier League, in the Champions League. The holders progressing through nicely as it stands. Ball forward for Nombo. Did well to win the header, but there's nobody with him, Courtney. Even if he actually did win the header, but there's nothing he can do there, is there?
Yeah, he's so isolated. It's so frustrating because balls are being pinged up to him. There's nothing really to his feet. He's having to deal with balls at his head, and he's doing well to actually win the headers, but then that second ball, there's nobody round him.
Well, the assistant has just flagged Hurst offside, and again, the Ipswich fans are not happy with that. They're getting stuck into him. It is 1-1 here. You have to say Ipswich are looking the more aggressive at the moment, but as yet nothing really to show for it. It is still 1-1 as it was at the break.
Yeah, looking the better side, I would say, but in terms of having saves to make, Johansson hasn't had one of note in this second half that I can remember.
No, he hasn't. Ball played forward by Johansson, headed away. Second ball at the moment not quite falling for Rotherham. They have it with Lembakisa, but he's been dispossessed by Harness, who's involved in a foot race. Harness has got to the edge of the area, down the left-hand side, stands up the cross, but it's beyond Hurst, and Johansson is out quickly to get it. He wanted to offload the ball quickly as well there. I think if there has been a criticism tonight of Ipswich, it is that they haven't maybe got enough bodies in the box when they've got wide down the flanks.
No, and Harness does ever so well there, and initially it's probably not the best ball in, but if you've got bodies in the box, you can get around the goalkeeper, you can get around Johansson, try and put him off, jump with him, but it's too easy for him to come and collect the ball.
Yeah, it is. Here's Hurst now trying to get in behind Lembakisa. He can't do that. Well, that goal for Milan means that they go above Newcastle. Newcastle will be bottom of their group with 2 games remaining. They've still got to play Paris Saint-Germain away and Milan at home. Here it's 1-1 in the Championship. Rotherham looking to close the gap on those just above them, 5 points above them. They don't want that gap growing. And Ipswich, meanwhile, are looking to close the gap on the leaders as Jackson has got in behind here, behind Bramall. Now there are 3 white shirts waiting in the middle. Can Jackson deliver a ball in? He does to the far corner. It's kept alive. Leif Davis was arriving late, but Lembakisa knocks it behind for a corner.
Yeah, and I think Leif Davis does the right thing there in terms of locking the box off, the runs at the right time, and then he's trying to get the ball back across to his teammate, but just finds that Lembakisa's in the way.
Corner then. And once again, as we've seen quite a few times tonight, the defending team getting everybody back within their own penalty area. Marcus Harness is nearest to the goal for Ipswich. He now checks out of that position. It's flicked on by Hurst. Will it fall for Chaplin? His shot is blocked, and if Rotherham play this right, there could be a break on. Onyedimna's streaking away, needs the ball played quickly. Onyedimna now is up against the fullback. Across there is Clark. Forces him wide on the right, and Onyedimna wins a corner off Clark. Good defending, good attacking from Rotherham. On the break, they've got themselves a corner.
Yeah, and do really well. I think Onyedimna to win the corner in that position is very isolated. There's Cafu on the left-hand side of the pitch, but he's not really offering too much in the way of an option. So to win the corner for Rotherham, I think Onyedimna did really well.
So it's down the Rotherham right. It's going to be swung in by Morsey again. Can't tell you, Colchester have turned it around 2-1 up over Swindon, and Peter will equalise at Wigan. Here's the corner now, floated in towards the 6-yard box, and it's headed away. Will it fall to a red shirt? We're about to see Morrison coming on, Sean Morrison coming on for Rotherham. Whether that's an injury or a change in shape, I'm not sure. Here is Bramall, just inside his own half, looks for the crossfield ball, and Davis gets it back to his keeper, but he's put too much on it. Well, for the first time there, Cameron Burgess just maybe caught in two minds. I think he put Leif Davis off, didn't he? And Davis has put it behind for a corner when there's absolutely no need.
Yeah, it did. There's no pressure from Rotherham. I think Klukas was the nearest player and nowhere near either of them. And as you say, there's that bit of indecision. The fact that Burgess looks like he's going to go and then last minute sort of pulls out of the challenge and give away a needless corner there, Ipswich.
Yeah, ball going to be swung in again. Morsey, left-footed, this time goes deep to the far post and it's headed back towards goal. Nobody really to challenge for it in a red shirt. It's partially cleared. Rathbone it in, who's fighting for it, edge of the area. It's played forward to Harness, and it's a good job there that Bramall was in position because Chaplin was racing through the middle unmarked. Just be interested whether Morrison comes on in defence and they put a Dauphin into midfield. Ball over the top here. They're trying to get Cafu away, but he couldn't see the flight of the ball, and it skips away and it goes out for a goal kick. Still 1-1 here, but it is going to be a straight like-for-like swap. It's going to be Daniel Ayala, whose full home debut comes to a premature end. Ayala makes way for Morrison. Well, you know what you're getting with Sean Morrison. Been there, seen it and done it in the Championship. And he'll add some steel at the back as well as Ayala makes his way off.
Yeah, and it's just interesting as well. I'm just watching Matt Taylor there and he's telling Klukas, get higher, get with the rest of your team. So maybe in terms of that press, they're trying to pin Ipswich in a little bit more because it's been in dribs and drabs. The press, it's been well-meaning but quite isolated for the players that have gone.
Here's the ball then coming forward with Ipswich, who, well, I don't think for one moment they expected Rotherham would come here and roll over, and they certainly haven't done. They were in front, Rotherham, in 4 minutes. Sam Nombe sliding in his first league goal for the club. Well, that was cancelled out by a Sam Morsey cracker from inside the D that made it 1-1. I can tell you Bolton have taken the lead at Shrewsbury. Bolton challenging high in League One. Shrewsbury 0, Bolton 1, Wigan 1, Peterborough 1, and Reading 1, Bristol Rovers 0. Now the ball on the edge of the Ipswich area, and Ladkey just getting a touch. They're trying to bring Rotherham out of shape, but it hasn't worked. Credit to Rotherham.
Yeah, they're trying, and actually the press now from Rotherham is a lot more coherent. They're going as units rather than individuals.
Yeah, here's Jackson. Had a good game down the right-hand side for Ipswich tonight. One of 3 changes made. No Nathan Broadhead tonight. He's ill. The club have said that he was unavailable. He's got a bug, so hopefully he'll be back at the weekend. Here now forward goes Burgess. Gets it to Harness. Harness midway inside the Rotherham half. Left-hand side of the field. Rolls the ball off. They'll try and find Luongo. Luongo will just go back to Morsey. And it's keep ball. Twanzebe now drives forward. He squares it off on this near side to Clark. Clark looks for the give and go with Chaplin, but Chaplin instead played it to Burgess, and the centre-half keeps creeping further forward. Now they're looking for the switch in behind Bramall, who does well to win the header, not the most powerful, and Clark swings across the field, and it's headed away by Rotherham, who are now looking to break out, and the Rathbone couldn't quite get it under his control. That would have been interesting had he got that under his control. He'd have plenty of green grass in front of him.
He would have, but the reason why those Ipswich defenders keep inching more forward is because Rotherham as a unit, they keep getting deeper and deeper. And yes, there are going to be opportunities for Rotherham on the counter-attack, but as I mentioned earlier, if you're inside your own half, there's still a lot to do from that position. I want them to get a little bit higher.
Well, here now they're looking to break out. Morsey, he's turned into trouble and he's lost the ball. Now the break could be on here. Shot from distance from Leif Davis, and he's put it way over the top. He did have 2 attackers with him, but opted not to pass and went for the shot, and it's still 1-1.
Yeah, he did, and that's the problem as well. Speaking about Rotherham, when you get deeper and deeper, Klukas there picks it up in midfield and gets pickpocketed. Because he's so far in his own half, it presents such a good opportunity for Ipswich. If they're higher up the pitch, then yes, you get pickpocketed. It's not ideal, but if it's on the halfway line, you're in a lot better position than whether it's, a good 20 yards inside your own half.
Well, this is an interesting change coming up from Matty Taylor, because he's got 2 players ready to go. Jordan Hugill and Seb Revan about to come on as Twanzebe gets up high and heads it back to Ladkey. And the referee, or the 4th official if you like, just checking over the Villalone Seb Revan. And Jordan Hugel is Rotherham's top scorer with 3 goals, and that maybe tells its own story, doesn't it? So far this season, goals have been an issue for Rotherham. Here's Harness now, trying to get past Morrison. Got the pace to keep the ball in. He did keep it in. Now we're late back here. A chance for Luongo. Edge of the area, tries to drive the cross in, and it's blocked, and it goes out for another corner to Ipswich Town, who are pushing to get their noses in front here. We've had 16 minutes of the second half. It's still 1-1.
Be interesting to see Revan coming on, whether that means a change in formation, because last time Max Taylor brought Revan on when I was watching the Sheffield Wednesday game. That spelled them going through at the back, so be interesting whether it's like for like or there is going to be a change in formation.
Yeah, well, will they still be level when they do come on? Because here is the corner, and it's going to be swung in towards the 6-yard box. Good header away from Morrison. Headed back into the mix, headed away by Nombe. Tay tries to bring it down. Onyedimna's trying to play on the break. Did he barge in? Yes, he did. He rather barged in rather than shoulder barged the defender. Now quickly taken free kick. And here forward goes Morsey now. Tries to play it in early. Morrison again is there to clear it away. Klukas always played his teammate into trouble there. And the offside flag, rather fortuitous, he went up. I think that pass from Morsey was never on. He's just got to get rid of it, hasn't he?
I don't know why.
Sorry, it's Klukas.
On the edge of their own box, they're trying to pass the ball out. It's, again, you're asking for trouble, because if you lose the ball on the edge of your own box, it's invariably going to cause massive problems.
Well, here's Sam Klukas who's going off. It was his pass to Morrison that put him under pressure. And also coming off is Fred Onyedimna. Really, his big part in this game was inside 4 minutes, wasn't it? The great run for the goal.
Yeah, it was, and it just makes you wonder with Onyedimna, is it the fact that he wasn't always going to play this game, so there was a bit of a fitness element if he was going to play, so is it just managing his minutes rather than his impact in the game and bringing him off because of that?
Yeah, I think there's something in that, isn't it? They were a little bit worried about him. I think he's been ill over the last few days and obviously has a big impact. I know when I listened to Matt Taylor's press conference, he was talking he hadn't met the speed targets or the targets that are set for him to play, so he's obviously done that late on, and as you said, they've got more games coming thick and fast, so give him a breather. 1-1 here. So 3 changes for Rotherham now.
Yeah, and I do think it looks like they've gone 3 at the back, so there'll be Lembekisa on the right-hand side and Revan on the left.
Yeah, well, they've got some more defending to do here. And the ball played in, they try to get it to Hurst. Chaplin will have the shot, and it's way over the top. Worth the effort from 25 yards out, but never really in control of it. Bristol Rovers have levelled up at Reading. 1-1 there, half an hour still to play in that one. Here on Talksport 2, it's Rotherham 1, Ipswich 1. Nombe on 4 minutes. Morsey replied on 18. And plenty more live football to come up over the next few days. Tomorrow on Talksport, Copenhagen against Manchester United, live on Talksport. Ball flicked on there by Nombe. Interesting how him and Hugel link up, because Nombe, to be fair to him, he hasn't had a lot of good ball, but he's put himself about a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. I think he's made things out of nothing. It's the sort of in the first half, that ball where he's ran across the blind side of the 2 Ipswich centre halves and managed to come out with the ball. So he's worked extremely hard and done a lot for the team without really getting a lot of service aside within the first 5 minutes.
Morrison bundles into Hurst, who's fallen on the ball, and that's going to be a free kick for handball. Hurst not happy, had a shove out, goes to protest to the referee. And now a free kick for Rotherham, and they'll send everybody forward. Morrison is making his way in towards the edge of the penalty area. So, an opportunity here for Rotherham. 25 remaining on Talksport 2. Over on Talksport, not a good night for Celtic behind in Madrid. Bramall stands the ball up towards the edge of the area. 3 red shirts headed towards goal, headed away at the far post, and it's crossed back in. Hugel there, heads it on, and there's a chance, and he's headed wide. And that was a huge chance. Nombe it was with a header, and he's put it wide from about 7 yards out.
Yeah, it's massive. Trying to do the right thing, though, in terms of going across the keeper, but there you've got to at least be hitting the target, and this is where Rotherham, they've created a good chance, good free kick causing chaos in the box, but you've got to take your opportunities when they come to you.
Yeah, Morrison was in there as well. He might have got the final touch, but it's still 1-1. Ball played down the Ipswich left-hand side. Thumped away from the edge of the Rotherham penalty area. Here comes Chaplin now, bit of space. Gets it out of his feet, shot block, good block as well from the Dauphin. Through everything behind that was good defending.
Yeah, it was, and he's not happy though. He's speaking to his, I say speaking, he's shouting at his midfielders in terms of their positioning because he feels Chaplin got free far too easily there.
Another change. Nombe going off, really roaring on the crowd as Georgie Kelly's coming on. Well, Georgie Kelly got a goal here at the weekend. The fans love him. He's a bit of a super sub, if you like, but again, listen to Matt Toe just saying that he's not quite ready to play full games. And we're going to see Kieran McKenna's going to return serve. He's got 3 subs ready to go as well. So more changes incoming here as both teams going all out to get the win if they can. 1-2 down by the corner flag here for Ipswich, and the ball will roll out for a goal kick. So Nombe got his goal, and he now has to make way for Georgie Kelly. And the changes are about to come on for the visitors. We've got the likes of Amari Hutchinson about to come on. Freddie Ladapo, former Rotherham man, is about to come on. There's a free kick given as the ball was played forward by Rotherham, and they've conceded a free kick, and now we will get the changes. So Caden Jackson makes way. I think he's played well today. He's certainly worked his socks off up and down the right hand side. He makes way. Luongo is coming on. Jack Taylor on for him. And George Hurst makes way for Ladapo, and cue the boos for Freddie Ladapo, former Rotherham man.
Be interesting to see what Hutchinson does now, especially with the change in formation for Rotherham. They did that against Sheffield Wednesday after about 26 minutes, and they didn't deal with it well. If anything, I thought it was a poor decision by Matt Taylor. It exposed him even more. Masaba on that day down the right hand side was brilliant, and it just gave him even more space. So I think Hutchinson could really turn this game on its head if he gets at Revan.
Yeah. Been a big turnaround in Scotland. St Johnstone were 2-0 up. It's now 2-2 against Motherwell. 10 minutes left in that one. As Ipswich are trying to play their way out from the back here. And, well, they're going to do it eventually, but there was good hustle there from Rotherham, but Ipswich are a decent football side, and they showed it there. Now they're looking to launch an attack. Here now is Jack Taylor. Taylor works it out wide on the near side. Amari Hutchinson, he's into the edge of the area. A couple of step overs, goes wide, pulls it back towards the edge of the area. Chaplin, little back heel, will get it back. Chaplin with a shot, he's put it over the top. And maybe last year that's a shot that finds the back of the net. This time it's blazed over, and it's still 1-1.
Yeah, it's a nice piece of play though. Hutchinson does really well, and the problem with Rotherham is when they're playing this 5 is they're still very narrow. So it's still quite easy to get down the sides even when both the wing backs come in. And also there's a lack of communication. I think it's Harness that makes the run, and it's Revan and Bramwell that get a little bit confused about who's picking him up, and then that gives Hutchinson time to get the ball in. There's a nice little back heel in there, and Chaplin gets a shot off in a good position, but it's got to hit the target.
Yeah, Celtic were 2-0 down and down to 10 in that first half. Well, it's got a lot worse. They're 4-0 down now. Griezmann has got a second, and Dias Lino has scored as well. And here now, forward come Ipswich again. Ball beaten away from the edge of the penalty box. Lembikisa will pick it up on the far side. So Celtic in deep trouble in Madrid, as Rotherham are getting pushed further and further back here. They've got 20 minutes. Could be a long 20 minutes unless they can go up the other end and get something. Kelly trying to get on the end of a long ball forward from Johansson. Ball headed across to the far side. Leif Davis will just keep the ball in play. He'll nudge it forward now. The Dauphin is just sort of fouled Chaplin, and it's a free kick for Ipswich. 1-1 here, but I think we'd have to say, in all honesty, if there is going to be a winner, it looks like the visitors who are going to be the team to get it. And here now is Amari Hutchinson, the Chelsea loanee. Scampers down the right-hand side, gets to the ball, feints to cross. Good defending, though, there. Harnesen will take it forward, but Revan did well and then let the ball run away from him. And it's going to be a throw-in right on the corner flag here, down the right-hand side. Ipswich Town looking to get themselves in front. Great vocal support for the Tractor Boys here, but it's 1-1. Defending again from Sebravan, the Aston Villa loanee. And it's out for another throw-in. No rush to take it for Ipswich. Not a lot of movement in front of him. How long the referee's going to give him here? It's took quite a long time to get that ball back in. And the ball comes back here to Hutchinson. Moves it onto his left foot. Whips in a dangerous-looking ball. Good challenge initially there from Ladapo. Ball taken away from him. Here's Morsey. Gets it away. Chaplin is starting to get involved. Tries to find Ladapo. Good challenge to get it back to Johansson, who decides enough's enough. Let's clear it downfield. Burgess went to get it, and in the end he maybe got a little bit fortunate there, because he never looked like he was going to control that, did he? He miscontrolled it better.
No, he didn't, but sometimes that happens. The miscontrol is actually better for you than what you was actually trying to do.
Ball on halfway. Ipswich are coming forward again. Lovely crossfield ball. Hutchinson takes it on the first bounce, chests it and then rolls it back here to Harry Clark. Ball played forward for Harness. They wanted to appeal for handball, he didn't get it. Cafu dinks it down the line, looking for Hugill, who looked like he bounced off a brick wall there. It was Axel Twanzebe that bundled him over, and the referee said that's a free kick.
Yeah, it's not an easy feat as well, because Hugill's not exactly a small man, is he?
No, it is a good matchup that physically, but Twanzebe making his mark there. Bramall's got a free kick. He's only a yard inside his own half. It is 1-1. And the Millers feeding on scraps really down the other end, but can they fashion up another opening? Bramall will knock it towards the edge of the 18-yard box. It's headed into the area, and Cafu had made a great run, but he hadn't actually. The offside flag has gone up, and that'll be disappointing there. What they do Rotherham, they get bodies around the ball, don't they, when they knock it long?
Yeah, they do, but that's why Matt Taylor, I'm just watching him below, is he's so frustrated, because he knows it's a good opportunity to get the ball in the box, get bodies round, and again, they've wasted it. And they see when they do it right, Rotherham, they get opportunities, but the frustration is really evident with Matt Taylor, and I say he's in his technical area, he's out of it now. That's how frustrated he is.
Yeah, it's quite unique here, because the two technical areas are probably about 30 yards apart, aren't they? I bet the fourth official likes coming here, because you don't get as much earache at Rotherham. They're a bit further away from you.
Yeah, she's had a job though, Rebecca Welch, today with all the substitutions, so I think she's busy trying to sort the board out.
Yeah, well, Ipswich have got the ball back. They turn it over and get it back, and Chaplin now feeds it down the left-hand side. Davis racing to the byline, tries to pull it back. He had Harness unmarked on the penalty spot, but couldn't quite wrap his boots around it. And it's cleared away by Rotherham, but they are starting to hang on now, Rotherham. 16 minutes to go. It's 1-1 on Talksport 2.
Yeah, Davis does well, but I think you've got to read the ball a little bit there as Harness. You can tell that he's running away from it. The ball's getting away from him. He's not going to be able to dig it out and get it to the back stick or pull it to the penalty spot. So if Harness makes that dart to the near post, it's going to make his teammates' life easier.
Well, they're throwing out down below us. Milan still lead Paris Saint-Germain by 2-1. Earlier on, Borussia Dortmund live on Talksport 2 beat Newcastle by 2-0. Ipswich looking to close the gap on Leicester to just a point, but they need another goal if they're going to do that. Here they have it now. Morsey will look to get it out wide to Clark. Clark has it. He feeds it wide to Hutchinson. All fired it back there. Cafu's done well to get a foot in, but a great challenge by Morsey. Wins it back. Now Revan's got to be quick. Did he bring down Hutchinson? He did. Well, the linesman was 10 yards away from that and didn't give that, but the referee didn't. He's going to bring out a yellow card. Revan in the book. That was a great tackle from Morsey that led to that chance, though.
Yeah, it was, but I'll be honest with that challenge there. I'm really not sure about that. I think Revan actually does well. He gets his body across, and I was thinking, if Hutchinson can get a good touch here and get his body across Revan, then Rotherham are in all sorts of trouble. But I actually think it was a good challenge.
Yeah, and interestingly, there was a controversial challenge at that end that led to the free kick that led to the goal, and it's in a similar position. It's probably about 5 yards nearer to the penalty area. It's about 7 yards away from the goal line. Leif Davis is there. Now Rotherham have got two waiting to close down the Morsey shot edge of the area this time. So this one might be driven in. There's only a one-man wall in front of Leif Davis here. He's got an option to roll it short to Hutchinson, or he can whip this in. He's going to whip it in towards the far post. It skims off Morrison's head, and it's behind for a corner kick. It was well defended in the end by Rotherham.
Yeah, it was. I'm just watching Cafu. He was on his front foot that time. He was ready. There was no way that ball was being pulled back to the edge of the box without some pressure being put on it like in the first half.
Yeah, Wigan are back in front against Peterborough by 2-1. Here it's 1-1, 14 remaining. Everybody back for Rotherham. Inside their own area as a corner down the left is going to be swung in. 4 waiting on the penalty spot for Ipswich now. Chaplin is at the back, just barking out some orders. Now they spread out. The ball whipped in. Twanzebe with a header. Did that hit the hand of Kelly? Oh, I think his hand was raised, and I think that did hit his hand, but the referee's having none of it. Another Ipswich Town penalty shout is waved away, but Kelly's hand was up. But looked to me, Corny, it did catch his hand.
Yeah, the same to me in terms of, we speak about natural and unnatural position nowadays, and to me it looked unnatural and it did strike the hand, but referee closer to the ball than we are says not.
Yeah, he was only 10 yards away. Here now is Jackson on the edge of his own area. That wasn't the best pass initially. Kelly couldn't get on the end of it, and now Ipswich will bring it forward again. Still 1-1 here on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Another couple of cracking games to come over the weekend as well, as Hutchinson miscontrolled it. Revan will beat him to it. He's looking for an easy way out. He doesn't get one, and he turns the ball back straight to Harness. Harness gets the ball back now, midway inside the Rotherham half. It's getting tight, it's getting tense, isn't it? They're a tough crowd here at Rotherham. They're getting more frustrated that their team are being pushed further and further back. As Chaplin feeds it in now, they've got him behind. The offside flag's went up quite late as well there. And now it's Ipswich fans who are berating the officials, and it remains 1-1.
You'd feel though if there is another goal in this, it is going to come from Ipswich. It's wave after wave at the moment. There's a couple of, half opportunities for the counter-attack from the Millers, but nothing's really coming of it. It's just all about Ipswich, and if they can turn their possession into another good opportunity to put the ball in the net.
Yeah, Colchester lead Swindon by 3-1. And now the ball played forward by Johansson. Atletico Madrid 5, Celtic 0. That's over on Talksport right now. Remember, Kisa got the ball over halfway, but didn't really look after it. You get the feeling if Rotherham are going to get anything, it might be from a set piece. They've not really created an awful lot second half. Ball played into the feet of Ladapo. Ladapo is strong on the ball. He finds Hutchinson. Hutchinson turned away. Revan just had a pull at his shirt there. He's got to be careful. Ball played over the top. Hutchinson's got him behind him. Can he keep the ball in? He does. He puts it back towards Ladapo on the volley. Chaplin was there, and Chaplin couldn't quite wrap his boots around it. And on the penalty spot, he pulls it wide. It was a tame effort in the end. It was another chance for Ipswich Town.
Yeah, it was, and I think he must have given the shout because Ladapo did leave it, and he looked in probably a slightly better position. But there, Chaplin, as I say, he must have given his teammate the shout, walking onto the ball, but he just gets the connection all wrong.
He did. Leipzig have doubled their lead. Red Star Belgrade 0, Leipzig 2. Manchester United cruising to victory, lead Young Boys by 3-0. Ball forward from Johansson. Hugill can't get on the end of it. A Dauphin will play it forward. Brought down over on that far side by Limbakisa. Rathbone keep it alive. He will. Tay gets it. Tries to play it down the line. Tay will get it back. Not the best pass. And in the end, they've done well to keep possession there, Rotherham. Morrison just tidies up, finds Colin Bramall, who comes forward. 10 minutes remaining here. 1-2. Bramall's good, great run. Can he deliver across? He puts in a great ball. Twanzebe does well to head it away, running back towards his own goal, and it's out for a throw. And that was better from Rotherham.
Yeah, it wasn't out of nowhere, really. They've been under such a sustained spell of pressure, and then just a lot of good passes, putting them together quickly. It's either been a long ball or set piece opportunities, but there they play through the first, play off 1 and 2 touch, good movement. You get a really good ball in the box.
Well, they've got a chance here to launch a long throw in. It's Sean Morrison who's about to deliver it. A couple of the crowd standing up, we just can't quite see. Away to our left, down the far end, there's a bit of jockeying for position going on, bit of pushing and pulling. That is a better long throw. Keeper comes as a Rotherham player went down. The Rotherham fans were screaming. Falls to Lembakisa, edge of the area. He's going to shoot, and he drives it about 10 yards wide of the target. It remains 1-0, but that may be the type of chance that Rotherham are going to need. But now they have got a threat from that long throw in.
Yeah, they have, and it's a set piece that people don't really think about all the time. But obviously, a long throw is a massive opportunity to get the ball in the box in a similar trajectory to a free kick or a corner. But Lembakisa there, his decision making's poor. That's got to go back in the box.
A strong challenge goes in there by Morsey, who will be the second player into the book. And Sam Morsey is shown a yellow card. And we're about to get a change. And it is going to be Connor Chaplin who makes way. He will leave the field, and Dane Scarlett, the Spurs loanee, will come on for the final 8 minutes plus added on time.
Not really seeing the best of Chaplin tonight, and it's not for the want of trying, but it's just not quite sat down for him in terms of the ball, or he's not quite got the connection on it that he wanted, and the usual quality that he brings just hasn't been there.
Bolton Wanderers have doubled their lead. Shrewsbury 0, Bolton 2. Here's a set-piece chance. Bramwell will deliver it towards the edge of the Ipswich Town area. It's headed in towards the 6-yard box. Ball's on the ground and cleared away. It's turned back in by Tay. Headed on towards goal. Falls back to Morrison. Chance here for Kelly. Shot blocked and saved by the keeper. Cross comes back in. It's headed away from the 6-yard box and behind for a corner. Well, Georgie Kelly had the chance. It was half a chance. He hits the target, but Václav Hladký comes up with a big save. Still 1-1.
Yeah, Sean Morrison as well. He's absolutely loving it. He's conducting the crowd down at the end to our left-hand side, and this is huge for Rotherham. Such a big opportunity.
7 to go. Corner kick down the Rotherham right-hand side. Ipswich with everybody back inside their own penalty area. Is there going to be another chance? Ball whipped in towards the 6-yard box. Oh, it's gone out on the full. The referee, the assistant on the far side, saying the ball never went in play. And that, well, that's a cardinal sin, isn't it? You've just got the crowd on side, you've got a good spell of pressure, and you go and do that.
I'm just watching Matt Taylor as well, shaking his head, and this is the thing, you work all week, you set your players up in a certain way, but there's certain things that managers can't control, and that's a prime example.
Referee telling Ipswich to get on with it, and they have it on their own penalty spot. They're going to try and draw Rotherham out again and play out. Morsey will lay it back to Twanzebe, who I think has shown he's going to be a very strong recruit for Ipswich in the Championship. Here's Morsey now, turns edge of the centre circle, skips over the halfway line. Ladapo waits in the middle, he'll go wide on the left-hand side. Scarlett is who looks to put the cross in, that's blocked, and it's behind for another corner. Ipswich looking for a winner. Well, both sides are looking for a winner, in fairness. Colchester have beaten Swindon 3-1 in League 2. Bolton have beaten Shrewsbury 2-0, and Wigan have beaten Peterborough by 2-1. Ended all square in Scotland as well, St Johnstone Motherwell. Corner for Ipswich. Again, they line up on the penalty spot. Ball floated in towards the 6-yard box, skims off the top of the head. It'll fall towards the back post. Cross blocked in. Half-hearted appeal for handball from Harry Clark there. The officials are having none of it.
No, there was no other shouts either, and I think that's always quite telling.
Ladies Scores Champions League. Atletico Madrid 5, 10-man Celtic 0, Lazio 1, Feyenoord 0. It ended earlier. Borussia Dortmund 2, Newcastle 0. AC Milan 2, Paris Saint-Germain 1. Red Star Belgrade 1, Leipzig 2. And another foul here on Rotherham, just over the halfway line, and it's another set-piece opportunity. Manchester City 3, Young Boys nil earlier on. Shakhtar Donetsk 1-0 winners over Barcelona, and in that Group H, Porto lead Antwerp by 1-0. And now a set piece that Cafu is going to take. Ipswich are trying to hold a high line. They've played it quickly out onto the right hand side. Oh, Cafu stopped his run there, and they played it to Cafu. They might get another chance. That looked like a foul over on the far side, not given, and in the end Ipswich will earn themselves a free kick. A throw in.
Head in his hands, Matt Taylor, because it's a good opportunity to again get the ball in the box for Rotherham, but play it down the right hand side. Cafu does to Rathbone and get a bit confused as doesn't play the ball back, the run down the right hand side to Cafu. But for me, that's got to go in the box, because that's where they've got joy from, Rotherham.
Yeah, Well, now there could be a potential break on here. Great challenge, but it'll fall on this near side to Omari Hutchinson. Ipswich now breaking forward. Clark on the overlap. Right-hand side puts in a good ball. Morrison heads it away 6 yards out from his goal. And Kelly now will try and beat Hutchinson to it. But Hutchinson's far too quick for him. Well, there were a lot of fans around us thought that came off Hutchinson, but the way Hutchinson guided it out would suggest otherwise. And he's got it back on halfway now. 3.5 to go. There'll be a little bit of added on time. It's 1-1 here. Dare I say, fans of Leicester and Leeds will be cheering on this result, as will Coventry and Huddersfield fans, because it doesn't do either side any favours. Davis has got it no down the left, pulls the ball back here for Harness, swing and a miss, falls to Hutchinson, hits it first time, ball cannons away, falls back to Morsey. He gets it away to Clark now. Clark's going to put the ball in towards the far post. Overhead kick attempt falls. Cross goal chance. It's gone in. It's gone in. And a goal for Ipswich Town. Not sure who got the final touch, but they celebrate. Jack Taylor leads the celebrations in front of those delighted Ipswich fans. It was a great ball into the box. Johansson got a touch on it, but it ricochets into the back of the net. Heartbreak for Rotherham. Rotherham 1, Ipswich 2.
Yeah, and Jack Taylor's the one that makes that happen, but I think it'll probably go down as an own goal. I think when he gets to touch it, then ricochets back off the defender. But this is all about that ball. Get a ball in a good area. It doesn't matter who it comes off of, whether it's one of your own players, whether it's the defender. As long as it goes in the back of the net, that's all that matters. And that's what happens when you play dangerous balls in dangerous areas. You then commit people, you ask questions, and when you ask the questions, that's sometimes what happens. You get the rewards for it, and Ipswich have got that there.
Yeah, they have. It was a real mess. It was a good ball in. It forced Johansson to dive down. There were feet all around him. And the ball bounced in agonisingly, dribbled over the line before anyone in a red shirt could react. And Rotherham 1, Ipswich 2. And what have they got? 2 minutes left of the 90. Well, they kept pushing and pushing. Kieran McKenna's side. As Ladapo just got one in the face there as Bramall tried to play it forward, but he might be trying to get in behind Morrison here. Morrison's got to be quick to get across, but Rotherham down the wrong end. And now they'll earn themselves a throw-in, and the visitors are going to make another change as Dominic Paul is about to come on, and he's going to replace Marcus Harness. Although I don't think the referee's allowed that change to be made yet, so they'll play on here. Rotherham have got a throw-in, they'll launch it forward. And go back to that chance they had to put the ball into the box. They didn't put it in, and 60 seconds later they're behind at the other end. Frustration for Rotherham, but they can't say it hasn't been coming.
No, it is heartbreaking because of the timing of it, but Ipswich for most of this second half have been the ones trying to force the issue, getting the ball forward, looking the more adventurous, and you can't blame Rotherham for playing in a certain way, for trying to hang on, trying to play on the counter-attack. But for me, as I mentioned earlier, they were dropping that deep. It was always going to be hard to play on the counter-attack. They had too much room to make up, and in the end they've dropped and dropped and dropped, and Ipswich have taken advantage.
Marcus Harness is a player making ways, in no rush to leave the field. You can imagine that. Well, as it stands, Ipswich are closing the gap on Leicester to a point. They're moving 10 clear of third place Leeds United, and it's the Ipswich fans you can hear here at the New York Stadium. Even the scruffiest goals count just the same, don't they? And it was scruffy. We've got 6 minutes added on time here.
Yeah, exactly. I made a career out of it. But what's interesting about it as well is Freddie Ladapo was in and about. They got lots of numbers in the box, Ipswich, so even if it hadn't have gone in at that moment or ricocheted somewhere else, Freddie Ladapo was there a couple of yards out ready to tap in as well.
Yeah, and it is Jack Taylor who has been awarded the goal. I would like to see it again. We don't have the monitors here at the New York Stadium. Well, Rotherham have got a chance for a long throw here. Maybe this isn't done yet, as we're going to add it on time here at the New York Stadium. 6 added on minutes. Ball going to be launched in by Morrison. Headed away, no red shirt to get on the end of it. Bramall will head it back into the mix. Ipswich partially clear it. Here's Taylor back to goal, tries to get the shot away. It falls here for the shot. Oh, it's a screamer! Tay has buried it from 20 yards here for Rotherham United. A bolt out of the blue, a shot that went like a cannon, gave the keeper no chance, and Rotherham have got hope. It's Rotherham 2, Ipswich 2.
That is an unbelievable strike out of absolutely nowhere. The fans around us are going absolutely mad. They're buzzing. But this is a goal worthy of getting back in any game. It's something a little bit special out of the top drawer, and that could have saved Rotherham. What an unbelievable strike.
It's just fallen to him 22, 23 yards out, and he's just smashed it in. Keeper no chance. And now Ipswich have got to try and win it again. We've still got 4 and a bit added on minutes here. 2-2 here. The Championship delivering again on Talksport 2. Don't forget, we've got the small matter of Blackburn Preston on Friday night. There'll be fireworks there for sure at Ewood Park. And then it's Sunderland Birmingham live on Talksport 2 Saturday lunchtime. Good ball into the area. Lambert Keeser did well just to get a piece of it to head it away. Davis recycles it. You wouldn't rule out another goal here. Ipswich stunned, put the ball in for Ladapo, and it's well dealt with. Revan just held his line, and it bounces behind. It's Rotherham 2, Ipswich 2. What a goal. Just when Rotherham looked beaten. And that's the one thing you have to say about Rotherham. They might not have the best players, but here at home they go to the end, and they've got plenty of spirit about them.
Yeah, they keep going and going until the end and getting the rewards for it. And this is what I was talking about in terms of taking your opportunities. There were times when Rotherham have got around the box, but maybe just a bit tentative, didn't take the shot on. And yes, don't get me wrong, I know this is a fantastic strike that doesn't happen every week, but T is taking his opportunity, has taken the shot on. And that's the most important thing, and they've got the rewards for it, Rotherham.
Well, Hugill was just held back on the edge of the area there. There were 2 fouls in that play, and the referee again waves it off. Twanzebe, clear as day, pulled him back. And then as he was on the edge of the area, he was almost rugby tackled to the ground. Ladapo now up the other end. That pass is intercepted. They were that would have been in the D, right in front of goal as well.
Yeah, I don't know how that's not been given. As you say, 2 fouls, initially the arm being pulled back and then rugby tackled. I don't know how. Between the referee and the assistant, they've not seen that.
No, well, the Morrison at the other end heads the ball away. Hugill does well, wins a bouncing ball just inside his own half. He now looks to get it away from Ball, who will have to go all the way back to his keeper. What have we had? 3.5 minutes of the minimum 6 added on. It's Rotherham 2, Ipswich 2. Taye with a wonder strike to level it up. The fans down that end have seen 2 great goals, haven't they? Morsey with that goal in the first half, and then Taye in added on time at the end of the second. 2-2. Now it's the Rotherham fans you can hear here at the New York Stadium. 4 of the 6 minimum minutes have gone. Have we got a 5th goal in this one? Davis cuts in. He's gone down edge of the area. Referee waves that away now. Well, it's almost like the referee said, I'm not going to blow the whistle now. And Kelly's chasing down Twanzebe. Twanzebe under pressure. And he does well to get the ball back to his keeper, really well in a tight spot. And they'll play it out, and Davis now will come forward again. Ipswich are going to throw everything at this. Well, they were a couple of minutes ago within 1 point of Leicester. Now that gap's going to be back to 3. This added on time continues to tick by. Lovely ball into Ladapo. His touch though let him down there. He got in between Adofin and Lembekisa. The Lembekisa does well to clear it away. Twanzebe has it. Rotherham are just trying to hold on here. Trying to defend. Now Cafu tries to close play down. They're trying to defend a little bit higher up the field. Is there one late twist? We've had a couple in the last few minutes. You won't rule out another one. As the ball now works its way centre field. Here's Taylor, who thought he'd won it for Ipswich. Feeds it wide. Cross comes into Ladapo. Ball cleared away from him. Falls edge of the area. Morsey plays it in. Shot between legs, and Johansson gets everything behind it to save it. And that's another few vital seconds that get Rotherham nearer and a hard-earned point here.
Yeah, and I think in the end it'd probably be well deserved. I think their defensive shape has been very good at times, and they've made it difficult for Ipswich. Yes, Ipswich have had a lot of possession of the ball, but when you're thinking about big save that Johansson's had to make, Victor Johansson, I can't think of too many. So yes, they've had a lot of possession Ipswich, but they've not actually done too much with it.
No. Well, you have to say that at the other end, Hladky made that great save, didn't he, from Kelly from close range. That was at 1-1. Here is Kelly now trying to win the header forward. Twanzebe will head it clear. Ball on halfway. We have had the 6 minimum added on minutes. We're in added on time of added on time. Ipswich held at the weekend. Can they find a winner here? They're into the area. Ball tries to turn. Kelly's tracked back. Kelly plays it forward. Hugh Gill's up on his own. He just couldn't find Hugh Gill. But Cafu should... Well, he wins the ball. It goes out for a throw-in. Referee looks at his watch and that's it. He's got his whistle to his lips and he says, that's enough. And it's the Rotherham fans who celebrate around us like they had just won this game. Well, they haven't quite won it, but they did snatch a point when they looked certain to lose. They led inside 4 minutes. Sam Nombe slid in his first league goal for the club after good work from Fred Onyedimna. Then after a short free kick down the right-hand side of the Rotherham penalty area, pulled back to Morsey. He curled in a beautiful shot in the top corner to level it up at 1-1. Ipswich probably played the better football second half, didn't create an awful lot, and they scored a really scruffy goal. Good work down the left. Ball in from Davis. Johansson got a hand on it. It ricocheted off a couple of bodies. Jack Taylor, we believe, got the final touch. That was in the 88th minute to put Ipswich seemingly on the verge of victory. But 3 minutes later, after a long throw wasn't dealt with by the Ipswich defence, the ball fell to Tay, who lashed it in from 22 yards out, gave the keeper no chance. Rotherham had to fight to the very end. Ipswich will feel they've dropped a couple of points here, but it ends Rotherham 2, Ipswich 2. Great entertainment for us, the neutrals.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant, and we're seeing two very contrasting styles in terms of Ipswich. They're free-flowing. Yeah, like to play through the thirds at times. Obviously, they're adaptable and go more direct, but no, Rotherham, it was a bit of a defensive masterclass really at times of how to defend in your shape, how to play on the counter-attack, and I think all in all, I think a draw is a fair result. Yes, Ipswich had a lot of the possession, but didn't do too much with it, and I think Kieran McKenna will probably be slightly disappointed that for all the possession that Ipswich had, they didn't provide themselves with more opportunities on goal, more shots. Victor Johansson didn't have too much to do. So all in all, for me, a 2-2 draw is a fair result, a point each, and it's a really well-earned point for Rotherham, and this should be a springboard, a bit of confidence. I think a late goal always more feels like a win as well.
Yeah, well, that's certainly the feeling here around us as the home fans make their way home tonight. We wish a safe journey to all the Ipswich fans as well. Long old haul for them. Long old haul back from Madrid as well for Celtic, beaten 6-0 tonight in Group E. Lazio beaten Feyenoord 1-0. Newcastle beaten early on by Borussia Dortmund 2-0. Milan beat PSG by 2-1. Leipzig winning Red Star Belgrade 2-1. Manchester City 3-0 winners over Young Boys. Shakhtar Donetsk, surprise of the night, beat Barcelona by 1-0. Porto Sino for Antwerp 2-0 in the Scottish Premiership. St Johnstone 2, Motherwell 2. Here in the Championship, Rotherham 2, Ipswich 2, and it's ended. Shrewsbury 0, Bolton 2 in League One. Wigan have beaten Peterborough by 2-1. Reading have been drawn with Bristol Rovers 1-1, and in League Two, Colchester 3-1 winners over Swindon Town. Got plenty more live football to come. Tomorrow night, Copenhagen take on Manchester United live in the Champions League on Talksport. On Thursday, 5:45 start, Toulouse-Liverpool live on Talksport 2, and on Friday we're back in the Championship, the division that always delivers. Blackburn against Preston. Hugh Woozencroft, Joe Shannon and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk will be live for that one at Ewood Park. Blackburn-Preston. Then it's Game Day Live. Wolves-Tottenham and Sunderland-Birmingham to come at 12:30. So much live sport. We thank you for joining us tonight. What a game it has been. It promised plenty and it delivered as well. Rotherham in front early on, but had to leave it late to get the point. Next up on Talksport 2, it's the Cricket Collective with Neil Manthorpe and Steve Harmison. But here from the New York Stadium tonight in the Championship, it ends on as even. It was an absolute cracker. Rotherham 2, Ipswich 2.